Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of Cowboys and Cthulhu, which is our Call of Cthulhu, Down Darker Trails, Weird West, horror, murder, weirdness, eldritch nonsense, content warning, content warning, content warning. If you don't like body horror, or cosmic horror, or gore, or people shooting each other, or disembodied parts of people and aliens laying eggs in you and all kinds of stuff that we aren't even entirely sure exactly what's going on, maybe take a break, because this is, it's Call of Cthulhu, so this is what it's about. And I am your narrator. Hey, we should do the thing where you introduce yourself, your character, and then give us a little bit of a snapshot of like what's at the top of your character's mind as you wake up in the Cambridge Hotel the morning after the events of your first full day in Denver, except for Felix, who's been here for a while. So, hey, Misha, Minnie.
Yeah, so I'm Misha, or Misha_lesson3 here on Twitch. I'm playing Minnie. She is many things, but an inventor, has her own fancy camera, very sleek, only a few feet across in size, for taking supernatural pictures, which was something that she did the other day when whatever it was had finished attacking everybody, and had some very interesting lines coming off of all the subjects involved, including 2 dead figures and also Anna from her hand. So weird. Anna said, "Don't tell anybody," but Minnie's definitely going to show everyone the picture later. However, Minnie this morning is busily checking herself over to make sure that all of her limbs are attached and not trying to eat her, due to the recurring dreams she had last night of like her body trying to consume itself and like removing itself and then like eating parts of her. It was something like that. Generally unpleasant, but don't worry, it's all here. She's one piece. Everything's fine. It's completely normal. Arson.
Hey everybody, I'm Chev. I will be playing Arson. Arson was a private investigator in a previous life, and these days is still a private investigator, but more of the odd job variety, and currently finds himself employed by a mysterious employer. As he wakes up, he is at first relieved because the usual dreams that he has that he can never quite remember what they are, except there's a lot of grasping and reaching and holding involved. He's just glad to be out of there and back in the real world. But now, like, it's one of those moments where where you suddenly remember your surroundings, and he suddenly remembers he's back in a situation he always swore he'd never let himself be in the middle of a mystery of weird things, and not really believing himself that he is putting himself in this position again. So a moment of self-doubt. Felix.
So I am your only villain, playing Felix. So the thing that's probably at the top of Felix's mind right now is probably what has his employer got him into at this point. Weird, creepy thing crawling in a medical area. His allies are starting to somewhat pass away around him. And then the 4 people that he's kind of teamed up with seem pretty odd and kind of out in different lands, I guess, if you want to call it that. Now he has to go back to the hotel and team up with these guys and figure out and see what else, other shenanigans he's going to get in with.
Oh, hey there, friends. I'm Katie. I'm playing Anna. And I guess everything on her mind is all of the lovely notes I took from the last section and doing like the autopsies on the 2 bodies and also Mr. Twister. That's his new name. I'm sticking with it. It's easier than trying to understand what it actually is. I feel like Anna didn't sleep very much. She's not necessarily planning to tell people what happened, but she's like, how can I tell them something happened and how to avoid something happening to them, but not telling them what actually happened. So she's mulling over the facts. And yeah.
All right. And Erthos wasn't able to make it this week, but his character Jack, who is a gambler and kind of con man, is going to be off on a side quest to see if he can attend a lovely poker game and gather some information from some influential and potentially, underhanded individuals here in Denver. So yeah, it's a lovely bright morning in Denver. Many you wake up momentarily confused because of your dreams. Then you reach up and you feel your face and everything seems to be where it should be. And then your hands start slowly choking you. And you can't breathe and you're trying to pull it away. Then you look down and it's not attached to your body. And you start screaming and then you wake up for real.
Check again. Well.
Everything seems to be fine.
All right. Well, is Anna awake?
Is Anna awake?
Yeah. I'll wake up around this time.
If you weren't already awake, the from
Yeah. I
Benny
feel
waking
like
up.
that would jog her out of whatever sleep she's in. Everything's fine in this room, but I'll go over and check on Minnie. Are you okay?
Oh, yes, I'm perfectly fine. Good morning. I wonder what kind of breakfast they have at this hotel.
You put two avoidant people in the same room. Everything's fine. Yeah, breakfast
Great.
sounds fantastic. Hey, how'd your pictures turn out? I think I fell asleep before they were done.
Oh, they turned out great. I will be bringing them down with us to breakfast to show the gentleman exactly what's been going on.
And what has been going on?
Oh, it's very exciting. I'll show you at breakfast. It's great.
Okay.
Get dressed.
Okay.
I've got him in a folder thing.
Yeah.
For the big reveal.
Little folio, and probably maybe a bit earlier than Arson would have liked. There was a knock at the door, and he kind of groggily woke up, and Jack came back and explained that he's off to scout out some of the dealings here in Denver, and we'll reconnect with you later. So we'll say that you all meet. This is, in fact, a very nice hotel. There's like lovely actual breakfast, freshly baked goods. There's some seasonal fruit, which is quite unusual, quite a treat. I mean, it's not inexpensive, but you are, moments away from a significant payday once you can make it to the bank.
Oh, yeah, we should do that before we go to the crime scene so we can have our money.
Probably a good idea. Definitely walk around in the wilderness with a bunch of cash in your pockets. That always goes well. Anyway,
no one will know.
It's fine. You're right.
No, it's fine. How would they know?
It's fine. I mean, they could see you taking out a bunch of cash at the bank and follow you. But other than that, it's fine. You can do whatever you want. So we'll say that you all meet up for breakfast. Probably everyone looks a little less enthusiastic than they did yesterday.
And I go straight for the coffee.
Arson has like 2 or 3 people's worth of food like spread out in front of him. He's like not wasting this opportunity to get some nice food in his belly.
Felix, did you share any of your reservations with Mr. Forrest when you reported in last night?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you had said that you were internally kind of thinking about what have I gotten into? Who are these people? What's going on? I wondered to what extent you expressed any of that to Mr. Forrest, your employer.
I probably would not have, just because it's still too early to kind of really get a full judge of the group. But first contact, first, impressions is kind of there, and everybody's a little on. But I mean, I've seen the other, allies of Mr. Forrest, and I'm like, oh, well, those guys are pretty odd too, but they're pretty good people, or here and there. So I'll just, I'll stick with it for now.
And I will say that Mr. Forrest is pretty perceptive. So he probably says something about how pleased he is to have someone as level-headed as you to help keep everyone safe and on task, and also to help him separate fact from fiction. So he definitely wants you to maintain an open mind, but also a fair dose of skepticism. Because you never know. There's all sorts of things about, miners digging too deep in the earth and they come back and report strange things, and it's probably just gas in the mines.
Hallucinations,
Yeah. There's all sorts of potential scientific explanations, which I would say strikes you as a bit odd because this is someone who is clearly a very influential member of the local spiritualist society. But you also know him to be of a scientific and evidence-based kind of approach as well. So he's just an interesting man of contradictions. But I will say that because his psychology is quite high, he succeeds at making you feel a little bit better. And he does value you and therefore makes you feel valued. So, breakfast. What happens?
How'd everyone sleep?
Great. And you?
Terrible, thanks.
It was good to sleep in a expensive bed again.
Yeah. It was a plus side.
The last place that we stayed at was it felt like straw stuffed in a burlap sack. But
was that because it was straw stuffed in a burlap sack?
It might have been because it was exactly that.
Either way, very itchy.
Are you Anna, are you doing okay after yesterday?
Yeah, definitely.
She says it exactly like that.
Anna's a bad liar.
Totally non-sus as that.
Anna's a bad liar, but I feel like, especially Arson, who she's been traveling with, or even if Jack was here, someone who has known her already would be like,
Well, are you attempting to, if you are attempting to pass it off like everything's fine, that is going to be a fast talk.
Oh, I'm definitely going to, even if I fail. Anna thinks she's doing great. So, well, it was not successful. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't successful.
I'm going to say the way you narrated it was accurate. Minnie knows better. Arson and Jack know you. And Felix doesn't trust you because he doesn't know you. So it's like everyone's like,
Felix thinks we're weird, but we think Felix is weird. It's the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other.
So no one buys Anna's, everything's fine.
Everything's great. It's a lot to take in. I mean, I feel like, are you fine? Is anyone here feeling okay?
I mean, I'm fine.
Well, you're not helping.
You asked.
Well, okay.
I do have one question though. Where is Jack? It doesn't seem like he joined us for breakfast. He's still up in his room?
Oh. Yeah. So, he left. Oh, this was a couple hours ago. Somebody came with a message for him. They said something about something important that was being staked in a poker game, and they needed him to go investigate something about. I don't know. I was half asleep. I wasn't. He was kind of mumbling. But when I woke up, he wasn't there. His bed was packed.
Okay.
So he left to go play poker?
I mean, if it's helpful, he is a good poker player. He can probably figure something out for us.
Oh yeah, I bet he's really figuring something out.
I mean, that's how we all got to know each other originally. Anna and me and Jack and Jane. Thank you. We were having a good poker game. We met in a tavern, and it all kind of spiraled out from there. But it's
start a poker game, plan a fishing trip, and it goes downhill.
And then this dude Ron fell in a hole, and everything went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Ron seems like a cool guy.
Thanks, Ron.
Why isn't Ron here? Ron would be awesome. We'd be besties.
Well, I did say gambling does sound like a good way to lose a lot of money, if you're to ask me.
Well, at least he's losing his own money.
True.
Yep. I don't know. I trust him. He seems like he knows what he's doing. Felix, do you have any word from our benefactor about any information to work on? I mean, so far we kind of have bodies in the morgue, but not a lot of leads aside from that.
Well, we still do need to go to the murder scene, so we do have one more lead to kind of smell out there for, or at least for something. Did anything happen after I left the morgue?
Oh, I did get a picture taken, and I developed it yesterday. And here's what I have. And Minnie will making sure her place is cleared of her breakfast food because she doesn't want to get anything on the picture, obviously. She'll open the folder, and there's the picture, which, if you recall, I think it has the Mr. Twisty bits. They kind of stayed around, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
In a weird way.
So
the,
it's this
the guy on the table, and then the person on the ground.
Yeah.
And then also Anna, right?
Yes. So it's a wide shot. The sides are cut off a little bit because you took this through the open doorway. But you see probably 4.5 of these evenly spaced tables with sheet covered bodies on them. The one to the far right, the sheet is removed, and it is the partial body of the victim, the initial victim. Anna is in the process of examining her. On the floor in front of them and nearest her body is the incomplete body of the young man you think probably the one that you were sent to contact, who works there at the morgue. And then near him is the pile of bits that was the creature. And to refresh, in the picture, it probably brings it back for everyone. The creature looks, how to describe it? It's like it was folded in on itself very tightly, and then someone kind of started to unfold it. So but it's still got these weird wrinkles and creases, and like it was twisted up somehow. And it is incomplete, but was in the process of probably completing itself by removing pieces from the young man. Because as it fell apart, one of the reasons that its legs were uneven was that one of its weird long spindly leg was apparently part of its own body, but the short stumpy leg was actually just the kind of top portion of the young man's leg. It had like a kidney that it had stuffed inside itself, but it was like very much a work in progress by the time that you found it. You interrupted it as it was beginning. And the picture, because you rolled exceptionally well, the picture is in full focus. The damage to the young woman, the original victim's kind of throat, jaw, mouth is quite apparent. Now that you have a chance to examine it, it really does look like something forced itself out. But of note, of most especial note, is the kind of shimmering, cracking, spiderwebby sort of pattern that emanates from Anna's hand most strongly. And then beneath that are much fainter patterns that emanate from the woman's body and the young man's body. But not from the portions of the bits and pieces that belong to the entity.
So, Minnie, are you just pulling this picture out, like, or I guess the photographed plate, like, at the dinner table?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are these weird spider web looking things
So
coming off of the three? It looks like 3 points here. Looks like the guy, the girl, and Anna.
Yeah, it looks like you're...
I'm gonna kind of look at Anna.
Anna's
Yeah.
avoiding eye contact. She's
Yeah, it
like,
looks like the camera's
oh,
broken or something.
yeah, I think your plate broke, Minnie.
It does look like
you-
that at first, but then when you examine it more closely, the glass of the plate is intact, but it has a similar
Yeah,
kind of
ow.
optical aberration as if the plate was cracked, but it's not.
Yeah, like I triple checked the plate. It's not cracked despite everyone's best efforts. But I did take this with the special ghost powder that I have for looking at supernatural things. So I presume this is some sort of supernatural aura thing or something like that. So you can see the 3 originating points here, here, here. So weird that it's on your hand, Anna.
Well, I guess now that you mention it, I was examining things last night, and I did cut something out of my hand. But it's fine. And all we need to take away from it is don't get scratched by those weird Mr. Twister guys. And if you do, come see me, because I'm a doctor, and we'll take care of you. And then just try not to let it, like, take control of your body. Those are the highlights, really.
You put it in a little jar, right?
I did put it in a jar. I don't know if that is the most appropriate at a breakfast table, but I do have it still. But it's okay. Like, we're fine. Again, avoiding eye contact with everyone.
Whatever it is, apparently can, like, lay eggs or something. Whatever it is, it's if there was one on Anna's hand, it presumably these other people also had one at the other 2 points here
and it
or here.
Could arguably be part of what crawled itself out of the woman. Based on my notes, nothing confirmed, but a high possibility. And basically, it looks like if you get infected, there's a chance for it to like be compatible with your body and incubate and turn into something horrible and unknown that sounds terrifying. Or there's a chance that you'll have really good white blood cells and they'll take care of it for you, and then you can just pop it out. Like I did.
So, why don't we go back to the morgue and put it in a body and see if it incubates? See what comes out of it.
I don't think it works like that, and I don't want it to work like that.
No, I mean, I will, like, if you show me where that vial is, I will crush it and burn it. I am surprised that you kept it intact. I just.
Well, it's like dead. It's not sentient. I can show you.
I mean, it put an egg in your hand just from swiping you with a hand. Like, who knows if it's actually dead.
You did slice it open.
Oh yeah, I did. Well, I cut it open to see what was inside with it. It was just a bunch of weird, gooey bits.
Yeah, dark, kind of charcoal gray,
Yeah.
tarry goo with a few solid black specks floating in it. And it was, quite small.
Yeah.
It's nice
I
to
almost
seed.
didn't notice it, but I was fixing my hand from the scratch. So just the real point of this is don't get scratched, and if you do, I've got scalpels
Okay.
and a dead non-incubated egg in a vial. It's small, it's tiny.
Like, how tiny?
It was like,
You might as well just pull this egg out and let us see it.
well, I was gonna give you a chance and give Arson a chance to at least eat breakfast before we got into things.
You're both sitting there with plates of eggs in front of you, just kind of push them back.
Yeah. I think as soon as the picture, Minnie brought the plate out, or the photographic plate out, Arson just kind of like just started dumping the food onto one plate and pushing it onto the side, like goodbye steak and eggs, goodbye oatmeal.
Okay, I'll pull out the little vial. I'll hand it to Arson, but don't actually break it here. Don't. We can throw it away later if we really, really need to. But I mean, do we need to? It's dead. It's sliced open.
It's also a little different than it was
Oh
last
no!
night. It's gone kind of fuzzy.
It's growing mold.
And it very much looks like it's growing mold.
Okay.
Is the cap is on, right? Like it's kind of like a stopper, like cork stoppered glass vial. Arson is kind of holding it up to the light and he's looking at it.
It wasn't that fuzzy when I cut it out.
I still think we should destroy it. And he puts it in the center of the table. Or, I don't, seal it, bury it.
Technically,
coat it
it's
in wax.
in a sealed container.
I mean, the cork could still come out. We should probably wax seal it.
I mean, we can do that. I mean, can I pick it up and inspect it?
Yeah.
Does it look like it's alive, or is it just a dead alien body growing mold?
So based on your previous roll, it's clearly it was dead when you removed it, or inert anyway when you removed it, and then you sliced it in half. So it doesn't appear to be any less inert. It does appear though that whatever it's made of is a really good medium for the growth of mold. And I mean, it's probably aspergillus mold.
It's just very organic, very moldy.
Yeah.
It's dead though. It's completely dead. We can still, like, if it'll make you feel better, we can, I don't know, toss it into like a fire, or maybe not. I don't know how to best get rid of mold. That's a little outside of my science knowledge.
Fire kills most things. Which we should.
Oh, there's probably a fire here too. Even though it's quite warm. I'm sure you could find a hearth or something here in the hotel.
But it's just made of very mold capable pieces. Yeah.
Arson is just looking around at the others, trying to like gauge their reaction. Just like, don't like this at all.
Well, I mean, listen, this is comparable evidence, handy to provide to our employer.
Very true, Minnie.
It might all be mold by the time he sees it, but
I mean, if we took it to the newspapers, they would laugh us out, but he would at least believe when we say what we saw. And you have the picture.
How
Yeah,
did he
and-
react when, and I guess I'm asking Felix this, but how did he react when you gave him his update? Was he surprised that Richard died? Was it like, oh no, another one? What happened?
How would he have reacted to that?
He listened. He asked a few questions. He probably asked you to describe the young man and confirmed that this was indeed the contact. I mean, he wasn't best pleased, but he didn't seem to be shaken anyway.
Okay. He didn't seem to really like face him at all, actually. He asked me a handful of questions. He did confirm that that was the contact that we were supposed to go see. That this creature, Mr. Twister is what you guys are calling it, killed him. And, I mean, he wasn't exactly pleased that the contact, passed away. But he didn't seem distraught about it at all.
Okay.
Well, we should probably head off to this murder scene. We don't want to kill too much daylight.
Yeah, I've lost my appetite. Nothing else to do here.
Felix is going to bend over and grab a few sausages and munch them on the way out.
Right. And you could obviously swing by the bank.
yeah.
And yes, you cash your checks. And it's quite a bit of it's notable when a bunch of people come in to cash checks for such a large amount. Especially
that's
folks that look
fair.
like you guys.
We look like respectable citizens.
I mean, you do. Minnie maybe does.
Maybe.
And then you mentioned someone, you're a doctor, and they're like, ugh.
And that's going to get into a fight with every naysayer on the street.
Right.
A lot of them.
We'll do it.
So, yes, you now have some liquid assets. Is there anything that you need to procure before you head out?
A better
I will
gun.
need to get
Oh, you're going to buy a
my
gun.
card.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm thinking. So I definitely still have the pistol. I'm thinking I would have long ago pawned the like narratively. I would have pawned the 12 gauge that I have, or that I had at one point. And now that we are in the midst of violent shenanigans again, I think I need to re-equip myself with some better arms.
All right. So what kind of weapon are you looking for?
I'm thinking a shotgun, like a hunting shotgun.
I am pulling up the Down Darker Trails PDF as we speak. And I'm going to look up shotgun.
And then how far away is this murder scene exactly?
It's about 10 miles out of town.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a cart wagon situation.
Yes.
So I'll be making sure that is
And
ready,
yeah.
getting it ready, and making sure all my equipment's there for taking photographs, etc.
Yeah. And you had been staying kind of on the edge of town already. and didn't have a chance to go get all your stuff. So you can basically swing by the kind of little dusty spot where Minnie was staying, pick up her cart and supplies, and then take the cart out down Old Colson Road. Specifically, it's Colson Mill Road. Oh, there we go. Of course. Here we go.
Anna just restocks her 2 first aid kits and makes sure there's plenty of vials for samples.
So, I'm going to say, because guns are expensive, you could negotiate for a new 10 gauge shotgun there, Arson. But that is probably going to wipe you out. It's probably going to take all 20. You might be able to get a used 10 or 12 gauge.
Yeah, I don't think just having something would put Arson's mind at ease. So like a used 12 gauge would be fine, I think.
Cool. Go ahead and just roll, I think, luck for me.
Ooh, 52.
Out of?
My luck is 65.
Oh, 52 under 65. Great. Yes, you can find a older 12 gauge for $15. It has not been kept extraordinarily well, but it's been kept okay. It's the kind of thing that was probably, a prospector's primary self-defense weapon, and then they had to pawn it, or maybe they struck it rich and sold it to buy something else. So it is mechanically identical to 12 gauge shotgun. The difference is that it will malfunction on a 95 or higher instead of a 99 or higher.
Okay.
But you think, and particularly Minnie, with your expertise in all things mechanical, even though you aren't a gunsmith, between the two of you can have a conversation about it. It probably, with some cleaning and a little bit, maybe a replacement part here and there, it can probably be brought back up to snuff. But for now, make note that is, so I don't think you have a shotgun in your inventory currently. So, and are you going to load it with shot or slugs?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Whatever's good against a Mr. Twister.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We're gonna take big chunks of meat out, but the shot's gonna have a little bit more of a spread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with slugs.
Cool. Throw in another $1 for, I don't know, 10 slugs. That may be too expensive. Make it 20, I don't care. So $16, you got 20 slugs. And the slugs just go into so it's a double barrel. So you can fire once or twice. And it is, you said slugs. So it's a D6 plus a D10 plus 6, and the range is 50. And if you want to later load it with shot, then it goes from 4d6 to 2d6 to 1d6 based on range increments. But the slugs is just a flat 50 yard, 50 meter range, and it does 1d10 plus 6, which is significantly better.
Huh.
Cool.
And actually, I think because you're lucky, you could instead get a 10 gauge, which is not going to be quite as good at if you load it with shot, particularly unless you're up close. But I'll say that the proprietor of the store says, oh, if you're going to use slugs, you might want to take this 10 gauge instead. It's not super accurate. You can still hit something, about 50 paces. It carries a little bit more of a wallop. And if you ever decide to load it with slugs, with a shot to deal with things up real close, it'll do a little bit better. And okay. he can give you that for, he'll give you that for the same price, but he'll throw in another 5 slugs and 10 cartridges of shot. Just like in case you run into a bear or something.
Mm-hmm.
Bears.
I have I spin a yarn for him about like, oh, I'm in town for some of the hunting and fishing, and I've heard there's some dangerous animals in the area, and I need some protection.
You do indeed look like you've seen some stuff, my friend. So I think he will buy it. Or if he doesn't, he doesn't care, because he's glad to make a sale. Same situation, reasonably well kept, but it just has a higher than normal chance of malfunctioning.
Cool.
And we'll change that to 10 gauge. And it is the damage is D10 plus 7, if I'm not mistaken. When you're using slugs. Yeah, D10 plus 7.
Cool.
The main difference is if you're trying to use a 10 gauge at like a 20 to 50 yard range, it goes down to a D4. So it's not super effective. So you either want to use slugs or use it up close. In which case it actually does a little bit better than a 20 gauge is what you're maybe looking for. No, actually, that's not even true. Yeah, that's a pretty good buy.
Yeah. And I think I was looking for something that was more of an up close and personal weapon. Like if I need to shoot something accurately at range, I've got the pistol.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, you load it up with some slugs just in case. Because there's up close and personal, and there's up close and personal. So it's you're going out into an area where hopefully you'll have more than 10 feet to get up on someone. So cool. And you could even get it sawed off. That might do some cool stuff. If you really want something, if you really want to see the whites of their eyes before you fire. Many could probably
yourself, yeah.
Right. So a little negotiation, a hefty chunk of your signing bonus invested in a new rifle. Anything else?
I would probably get like a gun cleaning kit on just the trip, just something to do. Maybe some snacks. 10 miles on horseback is going to be a little bit of a ride.
Yeah, I'm going to say everyone who, especially a gunslinger, has a cleaning kit, and I'm not worried about. I think if you're going to go on a lengthy trip, we want to make sure about provisions, but you all have a little bit of pocket money, so we'll just take the fact that you need to eat out of that. So cool. Anything else? No one wants a Gatling gun? It only costs $120. Once you get paid, a couple of you could go in for it. Fun fact, dynamite is only 25 cents a stick.
Oh, good thing I already have 3 of it.
Right? Cool. All right, so, right, you make your way through Denver. Busy day on the streets, lots of commerce. There's definitely, I mean, it's still the West, but it's relatively civilized. You find the boarding house where Minnie had been staying and stored your cart and your little pony, or probably it's a horse. So it's a 1-horse cart. It's a little bit of a squeeze to get all 4 of you in it, but it'll work, right?
Felix would probably take his own horse.
Oh yeah, easy enough then. So with Minnie on the seat and an Arson riding in the back, kind of being jostled every rock that you hit, Felix trotting alongside, you go ahead and make your way out Old Colson Mill Road. You know simply that the body was found under a bridge near the mill. And you can probably ask the owner of the boarding house where you were staying, and they can give you go down that way. You'll see it in the distance. It's there's kind of a little hill, and then there's a stream that kind of comes around the side of it, and the mill's built on that, and then kind of alongside that is the bridge. So you'll know what you're looking for. Hey, so why don't people spot hidden for me? Just to see if anyone notices anything unusual.
Ooh, a 17.
Oh, out of 17 under what?
45.
Oh, excellent. That's good.
71 over 60.
Okay.
63 over 60.
Okay.
So I'm a fail.
And did Minnie have to step away? Or is Minnie just off cam?
I don't know.
Minnie's on mute. Cool. Well, we'll just say Minnie is busy driving and probably explaining the intricacies of photographic art and the wonderful discovery of the substance that enables photographic emulsion to be sensitive to psychic and supernatural vibrations, etc.
Do we recognize the substance Minnie's talking about?
I probably tasted it.
Right. Probably. I mean, it's a glowing rock, and I think Minnie probably even knows that it's some sort of unusual form of radium, and that's what the idol was made of. So you probably connect some dots there.
There's some meaningful glances between Anna and Arson.
Yeah.
So you're passing a little kind of straggly copse of probably aspen trees. And Anna does see movement kind of in the underbrush. It's not something large, but it does seem to be, well, it's tall, but you think it's like, I don't know, it like you see it for just an instant and you think like extremely tall coyote. Like it kind of moves and kind of shies away at the sound of the I will say as you approach, probably the horse whinnies a bit. And you see the horse's eye kind of roll over in that direction, which is what attracts you. And you see some sort of animal shy away back into the undergrowth. Just a
But
bare
it's not
glimpse.
coming at us.
No.
Okay. I'll point it out though as we go by and just be like, lots of animals or etc.
Yeah, it's fine. Misha's internet did a crash.
Yeah.
So she'll be back in a second. Cool. So, and she's busy driving. So, not long after that, you kind of come down from a ridge and you can see at the bottom of this little small valley, this, I wouldn't call it a river, but it's a nice kind of healthy stream, probably fed by meltwaters from the nearby mountains. The kind of scrubby area gets very lush and green near the water, and you can see like swirling flocks of birds, and maybe kind of in the distance, maybe a deer attracted by the water. And there's a quite picturesque little bridge very close to a mill. The mill looks to not be in great repair. It's primarily like fieldstone, at least fieldstone kind of lower walls, and then weathered kind of gray wood on top. The mill wheel is not spinning, but you can see the lower portion of it is kind of black and green, covered in algae. So what do you do?
Is there anyone? Are there any like houses, like nearby, or any like other dwellings, or is this kind of the only thing visible?
So from your perspective, straight ahead is the stone bridge. Kind of upstream, just a little bit from the bridge, is the mill proper, and then there's a little rise, and the road kind of cuts around that rise, and at the top of the rise you see a small house. Nothing super special. It also looks to be not in excellent repair.
Okay, so it's not like, you know, where like, oh, there's a shack over there and somebody might have, you know, seen something or heard something.
No. I mean, they're probably, I mean, like when you were up on the ridge before, you could probably see, oh, there's a homestead over there. And like, it's not like you would not be able to find people out here, but the population density decreases rapidly once you're outside Denver proper.
Okay.
Because it's dangerous out here.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even say probably Anna, who's looking around. Although geology is not your one of your strengths. You have been to college and you did study a bunch of things. You can tell from the stream bed that there probably was a much stronger flow of water. So you're probably going to deduce that this was a working mill years ago, and then due to the change of a water course or just overall lower snowpack or for whatever reason, the force of the water was no longer sufficient to actually drive the mill. So it was abandoned.
I forget, did the person who was killed, is it known if they lived here, like who they were, and like was this an unusual place for that person to be?
You don't know.
Okay.
I think thinking back to the conversation that you had with Mr. Forrest, you had mentioned how difficult it is to tell. It's like, you know, some people disappeared. Well, maybe they just left town. And it's like, well, maybe they did, but then you find their body. So it's possible this person was traveling for either traveling to go see someone, or maybe they were leaving town. It's hard to say. But okay. You have no reason why a woman alone by herself would be under a bridge out here.
Okay. I think as we roll up, Arson would be keeping an eye on the ground around to see if there are animal tracks around, like just like if there are any, not deer run, but like, you know, any animal corridors or anything like that, any tracks leading to and from the underside of the bridge, particularly anything fresh, any signs of life passing through the area.
Spot hidden for me.
Oh, 64 over 60. I am going to use 4 luck points to make that a 60 out of 60.
So we have some boons where you could just flip it.
Oh, that's right. I can do that.
Want to use a major boon to flip it to 46? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And the reason that you're not sure, so you definitely see deer tracks. But and maybe like there are some where it's really obvious that a deer has come down to the water to drink. But there is an area on the far side, on the far bank, and this is, maybe 10, 15 feet across, kind of rocky bottom. It's not, nothing that you couldn't easily wade across. But there's kind of a little muddy area across, and you can see it looks more like there was a little bit of a fracas. You can see where like hooves have dug into the muddy bank. And you think, although it's on the far side, you think you maybe see some paw prints as well. So maybe a wolf or a coyote got after a deer here.
Okay. I'm pointing that out to everybody as we're standing there by the bridge. Looks like an animal. The animal's been over that way. Some activity there. Not really seeing much else. Felix, you said it was under the bridge that the body was found, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, should we make our way over there?
Before we get underneath the bridge, we should probably just kind of maybe look above the bridge and around first before just, diving straight in there,
Hmm. Okay.
I don't want to run into another, maybe like a Mr. Twister type of thing, or I mean, you obviously said there's animal tracks, so I mean, we go underneath there might be some wolves or something else down there sleeping. I mean,
Well, we've got
How about you gentlemen go look around, and I will get the camera ready when we go take pictures of the scene.
okay. Anna, are you gonna stay with her?
Yeah.
All right, Nelson. Well, let's go ahead and check around.
yeah.
Okay, so describe the scene for me. So, Minnie, you are setting up the camera.
Yeah, I'm getting it ready to go under the bridge. I don't know exactly where we are. Obviously not under the bridge yet, but I presume we have to walk there.
So yeah, you'll need to walk down the. It's a relatively shallow embankment, so you'll need to walk down the embankment and then carry it in. So you're prepping it.
Yeah, I've hitched the wagon. I'm getting the stuff, making sure the horse isn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a
they
post
go.
you can.
Yeah.
And you're
gonna
gonna let them
at the
scout
bridge
it
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So Arson and Felix kind of, I'm sure, very carefully. You look around the area. You don't really spot anything. Like the bridge appears to be in good repair. You don't see anything particularly distressing or unusual, but it is quite dark underneath the bridge. But it's not like it's a huge, big, broad area. I mean, you can easily see to the other side, and actually, based on the angle of the sun, there's, probably 15 feet of shadow. It's not. It doesn't. If you didn't know that this was a site someone had been horribly murdered, it wouldn't be particularly creepy at all.
Uh-huh.
There's a few reeds underneath, a little bit of underbrush you have to kick your way through.
Is there like a platform at all underneath the bridge at all, or is it just straight, just like stream?
Yeah, it's a little bit of sandy, rocky, with some brush that has been washed by from the occasional flood or extra water flow, and then that clears up. It kind of those kind of smallish, stream rounded rocks, and then the water. So it's somewhat precarious. There's not an easy place to necessarily stand, but this is not anything. It's not like super challenging either.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I mean, do we see anything like above the bridge or like around?
Okay, spot hidden.
double zero
Is
is a
100.
0, right?
33 under 60.
So I got so I got.
Yeah, the range
meant
is from
for the
1 to 100. So if you got a 0 and a double 0, that's 100.
Okay, so I got a 3 and a
Oh,
double 0.
Then that's 3.
Okay, that's
So-
what I was asking.
Oh,
was
got
to
it.
make sure that it was
Okay, yes. 3 under
Okay.
whatever is a really awesome
60.
success. Yeah. You got a fantastic success. So, and Arson, you did as well. You got a success. Yes. So, Arson is looking for like a lot. Like clearly, her body wasn't found in the middle of the water. It probably would have been washed away. So you're looking and guessing. You look on this side of the bank and don't really see anything. And then just kind of like by angling yourself to get the light out of your eyes, you do see kind of a darker, disturbed area across. You'll get your boots a little bit wet, but it's not a big deal to kind of cross it. Or if you want to go around on the bridge, but it's no big deal. Felix is taking, just looking more closely all around. And what Felix notices is strange markings on the underside of the bridge, on the kind of the walls where the pilings are, and then also working their way up both the stone and the wood of the underside of the bridge.
Hey, Arson, look at the side of the pillars and underneath the bridge. Do you see those weird markings? They don't look like an animal markings.
He had been kind of like crouched and like looking at something on the ground. He's looking up when Felix says that. Well, dang, you're right. Let me
Do those markings kind of give you like an uneasy feeling? Because
everything about this gives me an uneasy feeling. I'll tell you what. Let me go see. You stay here. I'm gonna go see if I can borrow something reflective from Minnie.
Anna might have some stuff too.
And so Arson like kind of books it, scurries up the back up the bank, comes up on where Minnie and Anna are setting up. Hey, do y'all have like a mirror or something? Like you've got all the photography stuff. We spotted something in a dark spot that's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, I mean, let me see. And Minnie will rummage around on the card for a sec. And, gosh, what?
Even if you don't have something for camera, I assume we would have little, like, compacts.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, like a little compact with the polished metal.
Yeah.
That's not a mirror.
From Old West
but
Sephora.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Can take both for double reflection.
Yeah, and glass mirrors are relatively expensive, but yeah, and you have
I would
something.
think most compacts would be a metal, just shined metal.
Yeah.
Is basically what it'd be. Yeah.
Or someone probably has a hip flask or something. But yeah.
I find something.
We hand him the compacts because it's funnier.
Yes.
Yeah.
You check yourself out, kind of blot
Check
your
out
nose.
your complexion.
Yeah, there's a minute of Arson just like, what, do I really look like that?
I told you could borrow the moisturizer lotion, but you wouldn't take it.
Maybe you'll talk me into it one of these days.
You need some SPF 1000.
We're getting there. We don't even have to erase any lines. Just like give them some care.
Yeah.
I mean, mud on the
Moisturizer.
face was enough for Pappy to protect himself from the sun on the trails. It's good enough for me.
Well, okay. There are many things wrong with that statement, and we can unpack it later. But
Right, so Okay, thank y'all. I'll let you get back to it.
What did you find?
There's some kind of scratches or markings on the underside of the bridge, like
Ugh.
like something was grabbing onto it or like clawing at the wood. I don't know. It's hard to see. I was thinking we need a better way to get some light down in there. We'll let you all know what we find.
Anyway,
then,
I watch him leave, and then I'm all like, "You think I should have offered him a lantern?"
He's got one.
There's a couple in the wagon here. Maybe I'll grab one of those in a minute. You're awfully familiar with them, aren't you, Anna?
Yeah, we were with Jack and two other people, Jane and Ron, before, and we saw a bunch of weird shit then too.
Yeah, you traveled for a bit. Sorry, just Jeff's like literally forgot about lanterns existing. It's very
I
good.
know. Now I'm thinking, does he actually have a lantern, or should I just take one over?
I think you can
Anna's
take it in a minute.
considering.
It's
She's
fine.
like, he had a lantern at one point.
Didn't he? Didn't he?
Okay, you know what? I'll just take a lantern, two of it in a minute.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fine. But you two traveled together then, right? For some time?
Yeah. We ran into each other again, and it just kind of worked out that we both felt like shit. And then we met that guy who I guess got us into this, the snake sailing hand person. I don't know what to call them. They're not would they technically be doctors, or would they?
I mean, he's doctor handler, but he's not a doctor like you're a doctor.
Okay.
He's a doctor because he painted doctor on the side of his wagon.
Ah, I got you. A self-proclaimed doctor.
Yes.
Which, to be fair, is probably a lot of doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A doctor of the mysteries of health.
Yeah, and he helps us, and we kind of help each other, and yeah, because I mean, this case is weird, and there's a lot of weird things going on, and it is also reminding of like some weird things on the last case we were on, which, although we came out alive, it's kind of like we didn't really come out unscathed, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it sounds like rather trying times.
How are you feeling after seeing things yesterday?
Well, I'm sure that was just a fluke and it won't happen again.
Oh, honey. Honey.
Listen, it's just weird marks or something. Listen, I don't really want to, if it's just marks on the thing, I don't want to take a picture if it's carved in. We can just grab some paper here and do, a rubbing of it. I'm sure that will be fine.
Yeah.
Ooh. The light isn't good.
Is it?
All right.
Zero, would I theoretically, could I still have my player notebook from the last session too? I held on to it, but I didn't know if, okay. Because I still have where I took the little sketching paper carving of the rock with the weird symbols on it. So Anna will pull that up and be like, yeah, last time we did that, it was with a weird radium rock, kind of like what you use
yeah.
for your pictures, except it wasn't so great. It didn't help us. I think it more so acted as like a beacon.
Well, we can just burn it if it turns out it's a beacon. Also, during this conversation, Minnie's trying to suss out if Anna and Arson are like a thing. or not, because they aren't sleeping in the same room, but they did spend a lot of time together.
It
Sarah, are
is
you muted?
0 is muted.
Sorry, psychology.
Okay.
Roll it.
Okay. I'm not good at figuring these things out, but that is what her questions were. Oh, I got a 99.
They are definitely in love.
Oh, yeah.
Deeply,
for sure.
deeply in love.
But they're trying not to admit it. Oh, it's a sordid affair. That's
Yes.
why they're keeping separate rooms. I got it in one. I understand entirely the situation, and
Yes.
I'm here to help. Okay.
We're
Perfect.
actually on our honeymoon.
Do you say that out loud?
Oh, no, I don't say that out loud. I just start looking. I'm like looking, and I'm like, oh.
Are
And
you
that's all
okay?
you. Oh, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Really
Are you
happy
sure?
about everything. Yeah. I'm fine.
Happy? Why are you happy about everything?
Well, it's good to have a positive outlook on life. And, you know,
You are really deep in denial, I feel like. Do you want
Aren't
to
we all?
talk? I mean, well, I guess so. You don't have to bring it up. Just like you didn't have to bring those pictures out at breakfast. I'm still upset about that, by the way.
oh, well, okay, it's important evidence for the case. And I just
Well-
want everyone to know that I take really good ghost pictures, because I do.
They were very nice pictures. You did a very good job.
Thank you. I think it's necessary for, you know, us collecting the remainder of the money that we're going to get once we solve all of this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take
So
a
while-
lantern to them.
Okay.
sounds good. So while we were having this conversation,
Okay.
Yeah.
And we all know that Minnie is doing everything she can to not go under that bridge. It's obvious.
spending a long time getting that camera ready.
Oh, yeah, I gotta
super
polish
long-
every
Do you
piece of
want
it.
help carrying? Are you good?
Oh no, I have it all right. It's fine.
Cool. So Minnie is choosing to be left the only person who's not under the bridge. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Oh,
But in the meantime,
Yeah.
while
Arson
that
has brought
awkward
back.
conversation.
Yeah, Arson has brought back the compacts, and there was probably like a really awkward like couple minutes where he was trying to get them like angled just right in the sunlight for Felix to see like to see the marks better, and then that's probably when Anna comes walking up with the lantern.
you need a light?
Thank you,
Yes.
Yeah. Is it dark down here?
A little bit. It's more that the markings are kind of up in an area that's shadowed, or largely. Felix, do you? I assume that you examine them.
Yeah.
So on there are impressions in the wood, but they're not particularly deep. These are not like gouges made by some extremely hard substance. It's more like dents in the wood. And on the stone, it's more like there's a kind of chalky residue. So the marks are kind of a grayish white, like something relatively soft was repeatedly dragged, forcefully, but repeatedly dragged against the stone. But you don't like see any area where it's damaged the stone. So whatever it was obviously much softer. Hard enough to dent wood, not anywhere near hard enough to chip stone.
Okay. So you said there's like a powder on it?
Yeah, the actual markings that you see now, like in the dark, you were able to see them because they're lighter than the stone, but you couldn't tell if they were like scratches in the stone but it's just a residue left on the surface of the stone.
Hey, Anna, do you still
Yeah.
have that vial on you? With the little...
Yeah.
Can I see it?
I'll pull it out and hand it to him.
I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of put it up to it and see if maybe like the mold looking stuff looks like what's on the wood.
No, the whatever that residue is quite pale, and the mold is black.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
It looks almost like I mean, you've been bored and like scratched your thumbnail on a rock before.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same kind of thing, only it's, you know, half an inch wide. And
Okay.
the marks themselves are anywhere between like 3 or 4 inches and like 10, 12 inches. They appear to be somewhat random. Anna, you had recently glanced at your notebook.
Mhm.
And you're thinking about like the markings that you found in the partially collapsed cabin up in the mountains above Harwood. There's some similarity in that they're kind of violent looking scratches, but those markings clearly had some sort of like meaning to them. And there was definitely a feeling about them that they were wrong somehow. This just looks like a lot of somewhat random marks.
Like a scratch pad for like a cat almost.
Yeah, but not even as organized as that. Not
Okay.
even as like, let me get up here and scratch, because they're kind of all over in a bunch of different directions. And now that you've got the lantern, you can see that there are also similar markings on some of the larger stones on the ground.
So something with giant claws have came through here and is marking its territory. Is what it looks, at least to me. I mean, does anybody else agree with that?
No, I
Arson?
mean,
Yeah.
that seems to fit. Is
How tall is the bridge underneath? Like underneath to the roof?
So you now that you can play the lantern up, you don't see any of the marks in the center of the bridge, which is probably a good maybe 15 feet above the level of the water. But it kind of arches down, and once it gets to be about 10, 12 feet above the ground is where you start to see the marks, and then kind of all the way down and onto the ground. And it's on this far side where you can also see now. It's been a couple of days, but you do see that some of the stones are darkened, as if maybe there was a bit of blood or something here. And maybe you even find, I mean, you're not certain until you find some scraps of clothing, kind of a pink gingham.
Well, the scratches could, I guess, be like a grizzly bear. I mean, they get pretty big. I mean, they could probably reach 10 feet up. I mean, they fully stretched out.
Last time we kept blaming it on a bear for longer than we should have. We weren't prepared for what it really was. So,
And I will say, Felix, you test that. You take a closer look at the exposed like wooden trusses and the underside of the wooden supports. And you've seen where bears have scratched at trees. These are dense.
Okay.
So where if a bear had scratched, they would have ripped into the wood grain. These are just dense in the wood.
Okay.
So something dull.
Well, Anna, do you want to take a sample of this white residue? I mean, we can test it later. I don't exactly want to touch it just in case if it's something to do with this weird Mr. Twister thing. I don't want to taste it like I tasted the powder from Minnie over there.
you don't want to give it a little lick? Just go for it. But I do have little cotton swab sticks. I don't know when Q-tips themselves were invented, but there was other things. So is there enough like residue that I can take a little bit? Or is it...
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You can find an area on a rock where there's a particularly thick deposit and kind of scrape some into a little sample vial.
Yeah.
It's a little bit not sticky. Maybe a little bit waxy.
Okay.
But it dry and crumbly, but maybe a little bit waxy. But yeah, you can just scrapes them in. There's not, and to be clear, there's not like a lot. It was Felix's eagle eye that made these marks apparent. Otherwise, you probably would have missed them.
Okay.
But yeah, you go to a couple spots and are able to gather like a little quarter of a teaspoonful of kind of powdery, slightly waxy stuff.
Okay. And you said there was a piece of clothing in the river, like under a rock or something?
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and go over to that and look around that.
Yeah. I will say it has been sliced into pieces. Not ripped. It reminds you of the young man's body whose clothing had been cut off him.
Okay.
So you're fairly confident that you found the site.
I'm gonna leave the lantern back with them and go check on Minnie.
Still polishing the top of this thing.
Yeah, just prepping this, dusting that off, moving one thing from over here to over there, and then back from over there to over here.
Uh-huh.
How's it going?
Well, we found some waxy residue, and I got a sample down there. That's definitely the site where, we were talking about. And you said there was like a little cabin up here or something?
Yeah, so across the bridge, and then up a little bit of a rise is, it's maybe a little bit bigger than a shack. It's probably where the miller lived.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So maybe, personally, I think I can help you take down your stuff. It's not that bad. Like, I don't think, it's not as bad as what we saw at the morgue last night. And we can, yeah, we should talk later. I'm worried about you. But we can, regroup with our friends, check out down there, and then maybe go check out that house if there is anything of note in there.
The house, the abandoned mill.
Yeah.
The abandoned mill house.
So relatively near, like you could splash upstream and get to it, is the mill, and then kind of up on a rise above the little stream is you assume the miller's house.
Might as well check out both or one of those places after we regroup with friends and check out under the bridge. Unless you just want them to handle it, but I thought maybe...
No, they shouldn't touch the equipment.
Meanwhile, Arson and Chev are standing like 15 feet away going, what is going on? Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Hannah's like threatening, but not threatening. She's like, I can just take the camera to Arson and Felix.
And every time the camera's like, no, I don't. I'll hold on to the camera. It's fine. We can head down there. That's the threat that's needed. Someone else holding the camera.
Maybe Felix will like it again, and then give it a little spit shine. Help out your
that helps. I think
resolution.
That makes it worse.
Yeah. Well, so you are going to need to use a flash, but that's fine. You're prepared for this. So you have the typical flash powder, which of course is also adulterated with a little bit of that extra sparkly blue stuff, because through your experimentation, you know that the light that gives off can significantly enhance the ability of the emulsion to pick up on strange and eldritch energies. So I assume you set up?
Yep.
Probably on the near bank so that you can get a good wide shot of the far bank where all this stuff is. So go ahead and give me another photography roll. And unless you're trying to do something super special, you can double it because this is easy for you.
Okay. All right. That is a 63 out of 75.
Okay, so not quite the exceptional result that you had before, but more than sufficient. The ground is a little bit uneven. Maybe you're feeling a little bit uneven. And kind of anxious for whatever reason not to be underneath this bridge any longer than you have to. So you, do you clear everyone else out, or are you getting pictures of, is anyone in the shot?
I would say that I would probably be in the shot just for scale references.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I want to
man.
see if my hand is still fractured.
Okay.
I think we would have had a conversation on the way out here about like, hey, Minnie, can you like at maybe like once a day or something take some of those pictures, like if we saw like weird things showing up in the pictures, I mean, we could find out if one of us has one of those things that was in Anna in one of us.
that would definitely make sense to do. So
Yeah.
but so in that
Unless
case,
it's Minnie.
yeah. Well, don't worry. I have to use the camera. That's fine.
Just stick your like hand around the corner, get it in frame.
yeah, something like that.
You could probably invent a timing
you-
mechanism.
You could invent
Or
the
a
selfie.
really, really long cord.
Or
Yes.
exactly,
A very long stick.
cord. So if that's the case, then I probably have Anna stay out of the picture because I'll be taking a picture of her later with the gang to see how that's going. Because I don't want all those spider webs to show up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So with Felix and Arson maybe standing on either side, Felix in the shadow and Arson in the light, you set up the frame, and then you probably, like right before you light the flash powder, you probably say, oh, you might want to like avert your eyes because it's going to be, especially for Felix in shadow, it's going to be really, really bright. And you flash the flash. Could everyone give me a sanity roll, please?
Yeah.
I rolled
10
very
out of
poorly.
41. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Ooh.
Good.
Day 47 out of 62.
Okay.
92 over 59.
Ooh.
60 over 50.
Okay. So so no one failed horribly. So I'm gonna need Arson and Felix to take a D4.
I would love to.
And Anna and Minnie, nothing yet.
So it does say on my character sheet that I take the minimum or half.
If
So I
it's
would just
related to
take half.
gore.
Okay.
This is not related to gore.
Okay.
Yeah, you are somewhat inured to violence based on your profession. So like shooting someone can trigger a sanity check because killing people is really damaging to your mental well-being. This is on the more eldritch side. Minnie and Anna, in the flash, there's a moment where, even though, it's angled away from you, there's a moment where you get a little bit dazzled. But you blink to clear your eyes. And as you look out, the scene seems darker somehow. And just as you're picking up on that, you realize it's also significantly colder. And then just as you're figuring that out, there's a feeling of pressure everywhere on your body. Just a subtle push, a subtle squeeze. And I think, Minnie, as you go to set down the flash pan, it almost feels like the air is thick. You feel strange, cold resistance. As your eyes clear, you see the darkness that seems to have overtaken this little river wash is not uniform. There are subtle moving patterns of darkness and light that move in an almost hypnotic way, like in a way that would be almost beautiful or relaxing if it weren't disturbing. Arson and Felix begin to drown. They clutch at their throats. What do you do?
We're right next to like the wood pillars and stone and stuff, right?
Yes.
I feel like Felix's first instinct would be try to, he almost like he went into like a sink spot, so he's gonna try to climb the pillar to get out of quote unquote water.
Yeah. And you know, you're on the far bank. You could literally just go up the embankment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so then, yeah.
Just for funsies, go ahead and give me. I don't want to be too mean because no one's really good at climbing. But then again,
I could do climbing or swim. I'm fine with that.
yeah, your choice.
I'll go ahead and do swim. 5 more is a little bit better.
And you know what? I'll say it's not hard. Double your score as a threshold.
So that would be what, 50?
Yeah.
Okay. That is an 82.
Oh no. So Felix goes to try to climb up one of these smooth posts and is not able to get purchase. Like just in that moment of panic, you just think I've got to get higher. And you don't think it's like I could literally just walk around and go up this embankment. It's a little steeper on this side, but it's totally doable. What is Arson doing?
Arson, like the first, how complete is this feeling of drowning? Like, does it feel to him in the moment like he is actually underwater?
It's just like a moment of panic. Of
God, okay.
You feel like you don't feel wetness, but you feel cold and dark and pressure. And when you go to take a breath, your body reacts immediately like I'm going to die.
I think that he, like, after a minute of like holding his throat and like looking like he's trying, like he has his mouth open, he's just kind of like, and then it's like after a couple seconds of that, it just ends up like kind of falling to his knees and just really puking his guts out. Just like he's just incapacitated basically. Like just doing nothing but retching and dry heaving on the bank on his hands and knees.
Cool. What are Minnie and Anna doing?
Minnie's judging. That's what Minnie's doing.
Minnie was like, "Can you believe these guys?
Can you believe them? They're drowning." No, it's probably more like look at Anna. And Anna seems fine. But we feel the pressure.
Yeah. Things are absolutely not right.
Yeah.
But you don't have the same reaction that Felix and Arson had.
Is the darkness like dissipating any, or is it like here to stay?
It's more of a dimness. It's not dark like night.
Oh, okay.
Is it like a cloud came over top of the sun?
It's very, very much like a thick cloud, like the thickest, stormiest day. And even with the same kind of moving like spots of light, only, I mean, you've seen storms roll over the prairie and, you get the kind of God rays and the variation of light, but it's just the scale here is much smaller. It's like one square foot of ground can be brighter than another. And there's this general rippling pattern of light and darkness.
Dude, does that always happen when you take pictures?
This has never happened when I've taken a picture before. How about you check on Arson there, and I will go over to Felix, who's doing a bad job at climbing, and try to like pull him up the embankment instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully he'll figure it out, kind of pulling, because I don't think that's going to work out for me personally, but you know.
I'm going to say, well, go ahead and give me a strength, Manny.
Oh, yeah.
You're not super strong, but you're decent. You're average.
Averagely good at rolling 99, apparently, my favorite number.
Use the boon. Use the boon.
Yeah, you should probably reroll that.
Okay, I'll use a major boon to reroll this.
Use the
probably a
boon
good
and
idea.
swap them. Wait.
Yeah.
These dice, I tell you. Well, now it's only a 72, which is just a regular kind of failure.
Okay. So Minnie goes kind of charging across this narrow stream, probably slips and falls a couple of times. But you are able to make it to Felix, who is panicked. And you can tell from the look in his eyes about to lose consciousness. And so as you reach up to try to help him and you're yelling at him, come down, let me help you, he fully loses consciousness and kind of falls on you.
Awkward.
By dragging him into the light, I say as I'm going to help Arson. I don't know.
And you're just gonna have to like get Arson up and pull him.
Yeah, that's fine.
So go ahead and give me a strength.
Come on, buddy. Use your legs. We're good. It's okay. Hey, that's a 26. I don't know. I gotta find... Out of 50!
Nice.
Great.
I feel like we've seen each other through panic attacks, so maybe, like, not necessarily forcibly dragging, but, like, assisting to a better position and area isn't completely out of the realm of...
Yeah, and Arson is likewise, like, you're seeing black spots in front of your eyes, Arson. But you recognize Anna and kind of cling to her and can feel her urging you. And so you bring Arson up the far bank.
Yeah, into the light and making sure he's not, like, blocking his pathway, even though I can't figure out what's, like, obviously there's nothing really blocking his airways. He's not, like, actually choking on water.
I will say once you pull him up the far bank and kind of support him to stand, there's a point, Arson, where like you know you're in air, but there's a point where it feels like you've broken a surface. And you take a deep, rasping gulp of air, and then you're immediately super duper dizzy as the oxygen hits your brain again.
I'll keep him steady. You're not gonna fall.
Mm-hmm. I think
He's on her back.
Yeah.
Thrawn just sprawled on top of her.
Felix.
Just trying to get myself out from under him and drag him.
Yes, you can tell he's breathing. Like he wasn't before.
That's good.
But as soon as he passed out, he begins to breathe. Minnie, would you spot hidden for me? Anna can too.
Okay.
I think Arson's probably a little preoccupied and Felix is taking a nap.
I got a 15 out of 50.
Ooh, very good.
I got a 19 out of 45.
Ooh. So you both hear a coyote? No. A dog. Barking? Like a little dog. So it's more like a yipping or a yapping. And then you hear from a ways away, from the direction that you came from, maybe there's a little bit of echo for you, Minnie, but Anna, your head whips around. You can kind of hear the direction it's coming from. You hear what sounds to be a child's voice. Mother, 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 may I? Yip, 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 yip. Mother, may I? Yip.
Mother says no. Is it like, do I see anything coming, or is it we're just hearing it?
It's hearing. Your
Okay.
your distance vision is somewhat obscured by this shifting dimness. And you
Oh,
look in the direction you for sure can tell it's coming from more or less the direction that you came from. But it is apparently far enough away that you can't quite make it out through the shifting.
okay.
Mother, may I? It's closer. Yep.
Oh shit. Okay. Do I have enough time? Sorry, Arson. I gotta help Minnie up. Just sit here. Don't move.
I mean, you're recovering, Arson, but after you got a couple of deep breaths in and kind of got over the dizziness, you're okay. You're winded, but you're not like in any danger.
Yeah. I'll go help them. Whatever you're hearing, I don't know, go take care of that. I'm gonna go help Felix.
I don't want to go take care of it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's a
You go
creepy
deal with that.
child.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I can if you want me to. I just
Here,
first, let's just get Minnie up.
Yeah.
We can both pull Felix up, drag him up, help Minnie
I
up.
get my camera.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, that's right.
Your camera is in timeout, and it's going to
okay.
stay there.
Nope. It's really important. I mean, we bother getting that picture.
It's true.
I mean-
It has something interesting on it.
Okay, we'll go back after your camera, but I'm gonna get my gun first.
Yeah, the camera. Okay, come on, you and I can grab the camera. Voice can grab guns. I have my pistol, and I'll pull it out, but well, not out, but like I
So
assume I have like a
Kind of
little pouch.
unconscious.
so Arson, did you leave your gun in Minnie's wagon?
Yeah, I think I would have left the rifle stowed in the wagon.
Okay, so you're gonna, because you're on the far side of the bridge from the direction you came, so you can just go across the bridge, grab it. Anna's gonna go down. I assume
Well-
help Minnie up, then Minnie can grab the camera and you can help with Felix.
Yeah, and
Okay.
get them good to go.
All
Wake 'em up.
right.
Smack them around.
You know, I think I'm looking at your various moves. None of you are particularly slow. So I'm gonna say Arson, you're probably moving relatively quickly, right? You're not just taking a nice little stroll. So and as you go down and kind of slide down the muddy embankment to help Minnie up, to get Felix off Minnie so Minnie can get up, you hear the pounding boot heels of Arson above running to say, I'm going to get my gun. You can pull Felix off. It's not that hard. Enough to get for Minnie to get up. Minnie's, of course, first instinct is to get up and grab the camera. So you have to kind of splash back across. And Anna, go ahead and give me another strength.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna be able to pull him. It's just more about time.
46 out of 50.
Still a success.
Closer though.
So yeah, you're able to just kind of, in that kind of fear strength, because you can hear the yapping dog and the child's voice getting closer. And like the sense of enclosure from like not being able to see the horizon in the distance, just like the fact that the world ends in this kind of dimness makes you feel like it could be extremely close. So you got a little bit of panic strength. So you just grab a hold of Felix's wrists and just bodily drag him over these, over rocks, sharp sticks,
Yeet!
whatever. You're just like, nope. You dig your little booted heels into the muddy clay of the embankment and kind of just bodily yank him up.
The whole time I am yelling at him.
Right.
Wake up! They're creepy children who think they're dogs.
And
You need to wake up.
and once again you kind of repeat the procedure and kind of get him up above, and Felix was already starting to kind of come around as you were yanking him, but then as soon as you reach the surface, Felix, you come around and you've got a pounding headache. So you kind of wake up to Anna just screaming in your face about children who think they're dogs. So, Minnie, you are underneath. You grab your camera. What kind of move do we think that would be? Could be stealth. Could be con, just to make sure you don't get winded. So you're trying to move quietly and unobtrusively, or are you just trying to like be as efficient as possible and hopefully not get
I'm
winded?
trying to be as efficient as possible here.
Go ahead and give me a Constitution check.
Okay. Cool. Guess what I rolled, gang?
99?
Is it
Good
a
old
99?
99.
Again?
You need to switch your dice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bad at reading. 19.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was worried there for a second.
That's significantly
19
better.
is much better.
Okay, yes. So similarly, you and motivated by the fear of losing your camera, you snatch it up and just plow your way back through, and maybe like take a little knee into the water once, but you're able to hold. Like your arm's going to be sore from yanking that big heavy box to make sure it doesn't get wet, but you make it back across the other side. So it's really only Arson who is close as it lurches out of the dimness. You don't know for sure what it is. It is 10, 12 feet high. It looks a bit like a spider if the legs were all stuck on at kind of random angles. The mass at the center is not particularly large. It's furry. It looks maybe like a coyote or a dog. It certainly has, well, one of its heads is dog-like. And that is the head that has been yipping in excitement. The tenor of the yipping changes a bit when it sights you, Arson. It is a bit more excited, like it wants to play. That attracts the attention of the other head that looks at you. What were probably once little golden ringlets hanging down over its face. It looks at you with really only one good eye because the two are pressed very closely together, the heads, or maybe fused in some sort of unfortunate way. But one of the bright blue good eyes fixes directly on you, Arson, and then you hear the voice, "Mother? Mother, may I?" And it begins to shamble toward you.
Was this happening like as I was rummaging through the cart, or when
Yeah,
I came back across?
you have just picked up your gun, and then motion out of your peripheral vision, you look over and this thing lurches out of the dimness.
Do I need to take a sanity check or anything for seeing this monstrosity?
For sure. Actually, I think, well, not yet, because right now you're the only person who's close enough to see it. Everyone else should be prepared, though.
Okay. That is a 30 under 58, so that's a pass.
You're good. You're, you take one, though, because this is super distressing. Particularly once you realize that its legs, they're deer legs. It's some, I don't know, 9, 11 various different deer legs kind of just protruding out of the central mass. It's trying to run towards you, but some of them seem to be not particularly functional. Some of the others are just waving around randomly in the air.
It's like you don't care. Just like you don't care.
I think the first thing I would do, so like the like that moment where like the I was hearing what it was saying, that was probably taking place while I was like stunned of like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
I just and then I'd like shake myself out of it, and I probably had like the gun like in my hands. I bring it up and take aim at center mass, and I fire.
All right. As you sight into it, perhaps the most disturbing thing is that the little legs, there's 2 kind of humanish legs and 4 little doggy kind of legs, are just running really, really fast. But they're suspended by these gangly deer legs. So for some reason, that disturbs you.
That is a 36 under 70. So regular success.
All right. And you're firing slugs, which means your range is 50. So you just do your D10 plus 7.
Heck yeah. D10. 6 plus 7, 13 damage.
Ooh, a very palpable hit. The dog begins to yelp and scream. The child begins to cry. It is knocked off of its stilt-like deer legs, kind of collapses on the ground. There's almost a hissing sound, almost like, you know, you pierced a air bladder or something. There's some other sound that you're hearing. And it is still alive, but looks like it has been significantly wounded and delayed.
Was it coming across the bridge?
It was coming more or less from behind, from where you had come from.
Okay. So like the way back to the others is blocked, is what I guess the better way to ask.
You're on the Denver side of the bridge. Everyone else is on the far side of the bridge.
Got
so
it.
if you want to get to them, you would be moving away from it.
Okay. I take the gun. I'm still like aiming at it, and I'm gonna start walking backwards across the bridge. Shouting for everyone. Felix, Minnie, Anna, you all need to get up here right now.
It lurches to its feet. You hear a sickening crack as one of the deer legs breaks. But it begins to pull itself towards you again. That leg just kind of twitching, dragging on the ground. One of the ones that was kind of waving on the top, you hear a squishing, popping sound as it just kind of works its way down the body so it can start to get purchase digging at the ground to help this thing move towards you more effectively.
Do I have time to fire again?
If you want to stay within range.
Oh, yeah. I think before I get too far away, I think like as I was starting to back away, and then when I saw like it start doing like weird hissy sounds and like moving its limbs around, I think I would have stopped like at the edge of the effective range and sighted another shot.
Yeah.
52, another regular success.
Okay.
8 damage total.
Ooh, very good.
And now I'm out of rounds.
Until you reload.
Yeah.
Again, very powerful shot. The slug cuts through one of the front legs, and it kind of pitches forward. And then you can just see the slug go through the top of this body, and there's just a spray of ick. And it just kind of writhes there. The dog squealing, the child voice now just gibbering nonsense.
I shout again for the others. Are you all coming? Anna, Felix, Minnie, where are you? I really need some help right here.
Yeah, we're on the way up. Once Felix is good to go, that's like where Anna's heading.
As soon as Felix, and you're only 25 feet away maximum, but because of the light condition, you can hear what's happening. But all you can really see is Arson firing into this dimness and then calling for you. But yeah, Felix, you should take you still have a headache, but take a couple of deep breaths and you're back to being able to function.
Probably after the first shot, I think Felix would probably jump into action and probably sprint up to Arson to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, Anna has her pistol out. But also making sure that Minnie isn't left behind.
Well, no, I'm right here.
I think I'm safer under the bridge, guys.
Right behind you, way behind you.
Yeah. But you're up on the far side, Minnie, so you're good. So Anna and Felix run forward to stand next to Arson. Okay, well give me those sanity checks.
Yeah.
41.
Under or over what?
49.
Okay, so success.
It's success.
I failed.
Did you fail horribly?
Not horribly, just a normal fail.
Cool. So Felix, take 1. Anna. Oh, this is pretty gross. I'm gonna say a D6.
Okay.
I think it should be at least a somewhat chance for you to lose your cool.
A whole 6.
Is this blood and gore based or just
This is the
bad?
This is the bad. This is the eldritch part.
Yeah. Is that my health or my sanity?
That's sanity.
Okay.
Which is more than
sanity time.
More than 5 sanity. Anna, there's a child in need.
Oh no.
She looks to have been injured. She's calling out to her mother.
So I guess, I mean, I feel like Anna's gonna try to go towards it. Just push past Arson and Felix.
What happens?
I'm going to try to heal it. That's Anna's goal. And I feel like she's probably very differently distraught. Maybe in a different way than normally seen before, because we haven't really been around many children. But
Does
I
Anna
imagine,
have maybe like a little sister?
yeah, and she had to leave her in order to go, on her own trip. And that's probably her mind is like overlapping the two,
Yeah.
like sister versus random child. She's just calling out her name,
Yeah.
which I'm gonna say
your
Emma.
your mind refuses to acknowledge the ruin of the rest of this creature and focuses in on the half of the child face that is relatively intact. And yes, in that moment of madness, you see the face of your sister calling out for help.
Yeah, then Anna will drop her pistol and push past friendos and make to go run towards this thing.
I'm gonna try and grab her as she goes past. Like grab her by the shoulder or the upper arm.
I would probably try to do the same too after seeing this thing.
Cool. Yeah, how about everyone roll size? And it's going to be contested.
Size. Ooh, okay.
This may not be exactly right, but I think it's the closest.
$11 under 50.
Powerful success.
Out of 56 out of 40.
Okay. And Felix?
So I got 70 out of 50.
You're still a little winded.
I want to elbow Felix.
Well,
I
and
was going to say, how many major boons do we still have?
well, I would say you are still, and maybe you're not quite as quick to react because you're not like, you don't know Anna and you haven't seen this kind of thing happen before. So you kind of like stumble a little bit, but you see Arson just come in and tackle her.
Okay.
And take her to the ground. As Anna's trying to crawl away.
Yeah, yelling at you like, why are you stopping me? I have to help her. And she's probably like crazy, not making sense, like pleading, ready to fight.
No, that's not who you think it is. That's not. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. He's like trying to get his arms around Anna to like kind of grapple her, and prevent her from like getting up and running forward. Like, no, whatever that is, that's not normal. You can't go over there.
But I have to help her.
No, like it's no. Just stay here. So focus, and he's grabbing onto Anna's hands. Like, focus on your hands. It's gonna be fine. Just don't look ahead.
Give me a psychology.
Ooh, I am gonna use 4 luck points to bring that down from a 44 over 40 to a 40-40.
All right. So it takes a good while, and all of your focus is your, like, no, look at me. It takes you a bit to calm Anna down, but you are successful at distracting her attention and eventually talking her down. You may even be using some of the techniques that you subconsciously picked up from Dr. Handler to help to calm her. It's interesting. There are certain words that after you spend time with him, whenever they are said, you seem to just feel very calm and compliant. So you try some of those words and eventually they get through. Your momentary madness has ended, Anna. The creature is continuing to try to drag its way. It is very clearly bad off, but it is still moving. What is Minnie doing? Put it in that for a second. Just curious. Minnie sees and hears everything that's happening. You're just far enough away you can't see the creature.
Yeah, that seems great. I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like what I'm hearing at all. So I'm just like, the camera seems okay. Y'all right?
I feel like Anna's crying.
Probably so.
Yeah, there's crying and stuff.
And Felix?
Felix?
Sound off.
I don't know what I'm looking at right now.
Well, it sounds like you should put it out of its misery.
Minnie, would you give me a listen?
Yeah.
I guess I should have done that before, but that's fine.
Oh, there it is. I'm bad at listening. Let's see. 96 over 20.
Okay. Well, and you're shouting back and forth and you're very protective. So it is really only at the last minute that you realize that you hear laughing, babbling, voices. And so you're shouting and you all see Minnie go quiet for a second and look side to side. It is above you. Would you like to give me a dodge?
Sure would. Love dodging things. Love seeing where dodge is on the list. There it is. 15 out of 50.
Ooh. Excellent. So you see something maybe 3 feet in diameter plummeting out of the sky at you. You don't really have a chance to register what it is, but you just realize it's coming down. So the rest of you look and see Minnie stop, look around, look up, and then just sideways dodge as some dark mass falls out of the sky. It makes kind of a splatting noise as it hits the ground and then begins flapping and shuddering. And you hear laughter as if from 10 or 15 throats. And then you hear, "Can Johnny come out to play?" echoing. As this creature, it doesn't appear to have any legs, at least not that you can see. But it begins kind of trying to flap and roll its way toward you. It's a mass of wings and beaks, all kind of amalgamated together at odd angles. It clearly somehow is able to support itself in the sky. It doesn't look particularly aerodynamic. Little beady eyes from innumerable skulls fixed on you, Minnie, asking you if Johnny can come out to play. Go ahead and give me that sanity roll you've been trying to avoid.
Yeah, I was holding these dice, waiting for that one. 81. You know what? Let's just take a major boon and flip that
Okay.
around.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. I gotta make it through a few of these before I run out of sanity.
What's everyone else doing? Felix, you haven't done anything in a minute.
So Felix would probably look between the two creatures and assess which one is approaching the group the fastest.
The dog deer girl would be significantly faster if it were able to get up to its feet. It appears to be struggling to do so, however. The Johnny
Black
come out to
Top.
play is just a mass of wings and beaks, and it's mostly just kind of flopping, rolling itself in Minnie's direction at a slow crawl.
So Felix is actually going to pull out a stick of dynamite,
All right.
and he's gonna kind of wave it like it's a stick for the dog,
All right.
and then try to get its attention. And then if I get its attention, I would like to light it and throw it past it, so that way see if it would try to go for the dynamite being a dog.
Give me a throw. It does. It responds. Even in the midst of its wreck and ruin.
Drop that on the floor. That is a 49 over 30. Is it what, a minor boom to bring it down 10?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I use one of those and then use 9 luck points to just match 30.
Sure.
Okay.
You go to throw, and it's dim, and not super ideal situation. You think you might hear some more laughter somewhere above you, which maybe throws you for a loop a bit. But you do get the throw off. Because it was barely a success, you were underestimating how agile and in some ways elastic the creature is, as the dog head and shoulders extend themselves out of this mass with a popping, sucking sound and actually grab the dynamite out of the air.
Okay.
Mother, may I? Mother, may... So, bits and pieces, particularly the appendages, are just blown everywhere. Those of you who are nearby are probably hit with a little bit of a spray. And are, I'm going to say, momentarily deafened because you just got full stick of dynamite going off like 20 feet away. Minnie probably was not paying attention to this as you're crab walking backward away from this mass of beaks and feathers. So you're not quite sure what's going on until you hear just boom, and then just an immediate ringing is all anyone hears. What happens now?
Oh, no. Minnie says, drawing out her Colt 44.
Oh, what did you get on your sanity roll?
Oh, that would have been the 18.
Oh, yeah, right. So you just take one.
Yeah. Bring that down to a 40. Any rate, I want to shoot this ball of wings and things.
Yeah.
I know how to shoot gun a little bit. That's a 19 out of 50.
Ooh, well done. So double damage. Yeah, why not? It's point blank.
Okay. So it's just...
Yeah, just double it.
10.
Yeah.
Okay. Just double it. Do I roll twice or just...
I like roll twice.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a little loosey-goosey with what good successes do, but I figure it's point blank. It has no armor to speak of. You literally can just point, shoot.
Yeah. 11 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. It's still animate. But there's just this like pop and sploosh of goo out the back and just puff of feathers fly. And then what remains is just kind of flopping around. It seems like it has lost the ability to advance towards you. It's the laughing and asking if Johnny can come out to play doesn't stop.
Yeah. As the ringing fades, and
then you fire again, then more ringing, and then as you start to get your hearing back, you can still, as it just sits there and quivers, you can see some of the beaks asking you a very important question. What happens?
I think Arson would have looked over. I think after like the explosion and the new gunfire, like looked over from helping Anna out, and like would have really taken stock for the first time of the stuff that Felix was dealing with. And I think I assume I probably have another sanity roll coming my way.
Sure.
Oh, that's an 81, which is definitely a failure.
Roll it up.
Ooh, was that a D6?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a 4.
Well, that's not more than 5.
Would I have taken a sanity roll for looking at the black blob?
Uh,
Because I would have assessed between the two.
I think you just, I'm going to say you just kind of glanced over at it. It wasn't any threat to you. So no, I don't think so. I think you quickly did an assessment, saw that there was a small thing, didn't seem like it was moving very fast towards Minnie. You probably like intentionally didn't like go and examine it and look into its beady little eyes, and then focus back on the dear girl.
I guess it is just a dear girl now.
Yeah. Well, it's bits and pieces. What else is happening?
Arson is getting up, like shakily to his feet, making sure that Anna is doing okay. Kind of gives her like one last pat on the shoulder, and then he books it over to get over to where Felix is. He is taking the time to reload his shotgun.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
What is what? The thing that we're fighting?
Yeah. Like what is that?
I don't know. And it looks like a well, it was girl deer dog thing. And now it's the girl deer thing.
Okay. Was that explosion I heard? Was that you? Was
Yes.
that okay?
Stick of dynamite.
Okay.
I only got 2 more of them.
You guys are probably shouting because they're just ringing.
Yeah.
They're not ringing it. They're not ringing so loudly that you can't hear the song. Somewhere off in the distance, you hear a pleasant baritone singing, "Go Tell It on the Mountain." As your eyes focus that direction, you see a rather large shape beginning to emerge from the gloom. A moose, perhaps?
We need to leave.
You think you see antlers.
Felix
We
is
need
just
to
gonna I was gonna say Felix is just gonna instantly just take aim at it and just shoot at it. Just another thing pops up. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but at this point he's kind of somewhat freaking out.
Yeah.
I would say that he would just shoot his revolver twice.
All right. Gonna spend some luck to fire twice.
Yeah.
Anna is, once after getting up, stumbly and shakily makes her way towards Minnie. So I'm heading that direction.
Okay.
That is a 54 on fire and handguns, over 75.
Under 75. Yep, so that's it. That's a hit.
And then I'll go ahead and use the 10 luck to shoot 2 bullets at it.
Excellent.
Do I roll twice or just once?
Roll twice.
Okay.
But they're about 2d10 plus 2.
Okay. I mean, like to hit, do I need to roll twice?
No. This is if you hit, you hit with 2 bullets.
Okay.
It's not quite fan the hammer, but it's close.
All right.
Because you're a quick shot.
That is 18 damage.
Ooh.
Rolled an 8 and a 6.
The singing continues, but there's now a bellowing, kind of a bovine bellowing, and the creature stumbles and moves, it stumbles a bit more into the light as the antlers begin to reach toward you and grasp at the air. It's kind of like a centaur.
Okay.
Kind of like a bison man centaur with antlers that are arms, more or less. Who really wants you to go tell it on the mountain. And in the cold and darkness of the air, you can see from the wound the steam escaping. And there's that same almost like hissing noise as if something was released. It staggers, but begins. It's not running. It's just stumbling now toward you. The hand antlers grasping, straining in your direction.
And this is why I stay in the city.
We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. Arson is kind of like pulling at Felix's shoulder.
Laughing here and there. Can Johnny come out to play? Can Johnny come out to play? Kind of echoing. You see a few, like you very briefly see something dark dip out of the dim into what you can see up above you. What happens?
Where are we in relation to the wagon?
The wagon's on the other side.
Right.
On the Denver side.
On the Denver side. You are on the far side. Well, I think some of you are kind of at the Denver side, but on the bridge. Anna and Minnie are on the far side.
We should get over there, Minnie. We should go.
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna say, is Anna back up? Are you on your feet?
Not
Anna's sort of
happily, but
heading
yeah.
Okay.
towards me, and probably what happens is I'm backing away from the
Yeah.
thing on the
Anna's
ground.
basically helping grab, drag, carry, Minnie, camera, all of it.
So you want to head towards
Arson and
the
Felix.
horrible moose man thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, the cart's over there.
Yeah. You cast
And
your
the
eye
other
to the
horse,
cart
maybe.
and you see the horse, by the way, is just standing there.
Yeah, cool.
Is
But
it?
it can't see the terrors.
Then you see the cart jerk as something begins to pull itself up.
Oh no, my stuff.
It's not like it's trying to climb into the cart. It's more like
Climbing
the
over.
back of the cart is in its way. So part of it is kind of making its way up. This is some sort of gray. You're not quite sure. It's on the far. It's in just the barest bit of light. So you can just barely see something large and slightly amorphous. Kind of what attracts your attention is the cart jerking as its weight was put on one of the back corners. And you just see appendages and then this mass low to the ground moving in your direction.
Felix is going to look at Arson and go, I agree with you, but we cannot use the cart. Let's get to the cottage as quickly as possible. Walls between us would be great. I'm going to go ahead and sprint towards Minnie and just try to snag her camera because I figure she'll follow the camera.
I mean,
It's the
I
key
will.
to Minnie.
And I'm going to sprint towards the cabbage or the cottage.
Cool. What is everyone else doing?
This is probably a
Be
very
careful with that. Follow him.
I want to try and call to the horse, like to get the horse to like in no way am I going over there towards the cart and everything, but maybe I can like get the horse to come towards us.
Like whistle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the horse was tied up. We made sure the horse was tied up to.
Oh,
so
that's right.
Wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
But
never
still-
mind.
You can still try. I'll say just
Maybe
out of instinct, you whistle to it, and you're not completely unaware of the ways of handling horses. It's like it can't even hear you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, 31 over 5. So, I'm standing there. I've got like fingers in my mouth. I'm whistling, and then I like spot like, oh, those are the reins, and that's the fence, and those are tied together. And then I turn and start running after where Felix went.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you you follow the road around the corner a little bit, passing relatively near to the mill.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear inside the mill a thump. A very heavy kind of thump against the kind of rotted and swollen wooden door. You hear a crack. Maybe you hear something mumbled about baked beans for dinner.
Gross.
Could have misunderstood. Is everyone hoofing it towards the miller's cabin?
Yeah.
Or is Anna chilling?
No, Anna followed Minnie and Felix and Arson too.
Okay, there's a little bit of a cinematic long shot as you guys huff it. Felix running forward, holding out the box of the camera. Minnie chasing. No, leave it alone. Anna, skirts in hand, pulled up, just sprinting across the scrubby yard. Arson, probably low, gun in hand, doing a trot. We'll say for cinematic effect, a couple of you have to dodge as one of the Johnny Come Out to Plays swoops down near you. I'm gonna say it's Anna. It gets close enough that a few of the beaks yank at your hair.
Rude.
But yes, you arrive at the closed door to the miller's cabin. What do you do?
I'm gonna just try to straight up just kick the door in.
Yeah, give me a strength.
Yeah.
Did we all hear the thumps, or was it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, pistol ready.
That is a 9 over 60.
9 under 60? Oh yeah.
Yes.
You just plant your boot right in the center of this door and the entire thing breaks open. Like it knocks it off the hinges.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
falls
gonna
in.
run in and just kind of just set the camera down and then just kind of try to peel the door off to the side and kind of put it up against the wall so when everybody gets in we can kind of slide it back over. Just something there just to block line of sight.
Yeah. Everyone immediately, like as soon as you open the door, Anna, now screaming because the Johnny Come Out to Play is trying to like rip your hair out, and it's just I'm freaking out. Runs in. Arson probably hits the wall, looks around outside with the gun, and then ducks inside. Minnie immediately runs past you and goes in, make sure the camera's okay, and you push the door into place. It's not going to stay there on its own.
Correct, but it's something there.
Yeah. Now there is some furniture in here. So this is remember it's not quite a cabin, but it's not like a fine house. There's a basically, what would that be? It's like a square structure with basically 4 rooms. So a central hall, like a dog trot. And then there is a narrow staircase up to what is probably a loft.
Okay. Is it made out of wood or stone? Cottage.
As you approached it, you saw that there is probably like a foundation wall that comes out maybe 3 feet above the ground. That's stone, and then maybe a little bit of extra stone supporting columns on the corners, but the majority of the upper structure is wood.
Okay. I'm gonna yell to Arson to start grabbing things to barricade the door while I try to hold it.
Yeah, there's some chairs. There's a couch, table. What is everyone else doing?
But there's nothing else in the room with us.
I don't know. Why don't you spot hidden?
Can I? Oh. 35 out of 45.
It's damp in here. But no, you don't. I mean, there might be like some mice in the walls or something. But you don't. Aside from the fact that you notice that it's maybe damper than it ought to be, because it's up relatively high. Maybe it rained out here yesterday, and the roof is compromised. But just you see dark streaks down the walls. So it just smells wet. But that's the main thing that you notice.
I'm grabbing like a stool and like brute forcing the legs apart and using them to kind of like stick in between like the door and the frame, trying to like completely shim it shut.
Yeah. What do we think? I think it calls for real just to see how effective it is. Whether it's a simple barricade or if you can make it a bit more fast than that. I'm thinking maybe survival, but I could be convinced.
Can I assist at all?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Well, who has the highest survival? I think I don't know that anyone has a really awesome survival.
I have 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, my survival is pretty bad.
Perhaps all of us have the same amount of survival.
Yeah. I'll say.
What if we all pitch in?
I'll just say take advantage on it.
Okay.
Which means roll 2 10s and take the lower.
That was a 46. And a 19. Oh, that's almost there. I'm going to use a minor boon.
Perfect. Yeah, let's say you're able to maybe there's some sort of tool, something rusted and old, maybe broken, maybe some sort of specialized tool that the miller used that you just don't recognize. But once you kind of pile, but it looks almost like a pole arm. There's some sort of metal scraping implement on one side and then a long spar. Once you wedge a bunch of furniture up against the door, you're able to kind of use this to stabilize the stack and maybe even drive it into the wall. And yes, you have something better than just a barricade based on the mass of the furniture. Now there are windows. The good news is that these are, maybe the ones in front were glazed at one point, but they are closed by shutters. So but you're not quite sure how secure that is. And also the structure isn't in the best shape, particularly with all the damp. But it's certainly as secure as you can make it in this short period of time. What happens?
Deep breath.
Deep breath, and then
Definitely.
kind of probably a cough from all the
Running and mildew and
yeah.
I guess peer out the window, stay a little ways away from it, but see if they followed us at all.
Yeah. You go to one of the front windows that was glazed, but now it's just shards. You can see, you could hear cracking as you step on the shards. You feel the floorboards beneath you sag alarmingly. But you're able to kind of peer through a knothole in one of the shutters and see 7 or 8 variously shaped and sized figures. You're close. It's almost like overhearing random conversation on the street or maybe at a party. Each one saying a perfectly mundane but nonsensical phrase.
Almost like they're communicating with each other almost, or...
I would say that's not the sense that you get.
Okay.
It's just a straight repetitive. And there's some other grunts and groans and snarls in there as well. But I would say the speech is what you pick up on.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take stock of each other real quick. Anybody injured?
No.
Not physically.
Oh, shaken.
Okay. Let's... Felix is gonna go ahead and explore upstairs.
All right. Yeah, it's
Carefully.
yeah. The stairs themselves are a little bit rickety.
Mhm.
And like one of them, you put your weight on it and you hear it crack. So you kind of skip that one.
Mhm.
It's probably loud enough that everyone turns and looks and notes that that one is now quite bowed. But carefully holding onto the banister and kind of testing your weight up the steps, you see the top. Yeah, clearly like a sleeping loft.
Okay.
Like one basically one big room that would have been kind of the attic, if you will.
Okay.
There is one window that faces the front.
Mhm.
And actually, as you look back, you think on the far end there might be another one. But that one's shuttered. There's a kind of octagonal window that looks out over the scene. Or you assume. You have to get up close to it, but it would look over what is effectively the front yard and then down toward the mill and the bridge where you just were. You do see a few cracks of that dusky light coming through damage in the roof.
I'm gonna go ahead and look out the front one, just maybe a little bit higher vantage point to see, actually get an actual count of how many things are coming towards us right now.
Yeah, it's really weird because as you look out, there's a strange distortion in your vision.
Okay.
Kind of towards the top of where the window is. And if you look up, it's definitely much, much brighter. And then as you look down, it gets very, very, very dim.
I'm gonna instantly call Arson upstairs. And kind of show him what this is. Maybe he can maybe decipher what see if he sees the same thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think your call comes as I'm in the middle of like double and triple checking some of the the barricade and the shutters and all that. And he
there's a back door. It's been nailed shut. You confirm that. I mean, the nails are all rusted, but
putting the coal bin or the firewood basket, like shoving it over in front of a rat hole that had. Well, anyway,
yeah,
I make my way up the stairs and over. What'd you find? Is there like a hole in the wall or something?
So if you peer out, so look out this window real quick, and then bring your head up a little bit and kind of peer towards the top of it. Do you see something different?
I do what he was describing. Do I see the same thing?
Yeah. It looks for all the world like there's a water line. Only it's not quite as precise, right? The water line is you can tell where the water ends and the air begins. It's more diffuse than that. But the way that it ripples, and particularly now that you can see the brightness, and as you look down, you're high enough that the ground below is in not entire darkness, but it's quite dim. But you can see now almost rays of light coming from this brighter area down and illuminating. And as those liquid patterns of light and darkness dance, you can see it revealing figures on the lawn.
Do you think we could? I mean, if we got up on the roof, would we be safe?
I was gonna say, is this something like when we were in the river and they got us up on the riverbank where we were actually able to breathe? Maybe this is the same concept, which is super weird.
I've seen weirder. Not much weirder. Yeah. I think you're right. We gotta get out of the roof. We gotta get up.
Minnie, Anna, what are you doing? You're downstairs.
Minnie is prepping the camera for another picture.
Ooh.
Moving the old plate and putting in a new one. I had plenty of time to get a couple plates prepared earlier.
Yeah. When you weren't sleeping last night.
When I wasn't sleeping and when I was standing by the wagon for a while.
Yeah.
You know, how many plates should I bring? One, wrap that up, put it in the bag. Maybe another one.
Are you going to use the flash? It's pretty dim in here.
It is pretty dim in here. I think that though I was thinking if I could get a way to see all the things outside, and I'm not too sure if it would help with the flash or not. Because also it's like, well, I took the flash before and it made everything weird, so obviously I'd take a flash again, it'll make it less weird.
It's true,
right?
And by the way,
powder in it
up there. I mean, they're not that far away. You can hear the conversation about. Look out this window. Do you see them below?
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be so. I'll. Oh, okay. I'll take a picture up there.
Okay. So you haul the camera up the steps, being, I'm sure, careful not to step on the one that nearly broke through. Anna, what are you doing?
Following up, but cautiously, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, hearing the conversation, and then I feel like we don't have many other options, so I could believe the two flashes negate each other.
Right.
Enough. It's either gonna make things really bad or really good.
Yes.
So
probably no in between.
Yeah, there's no in between.
So.
But I still have my pistol out, just in case.
Minnie, you set up the box in the window. Set up the box camera in the window. This octagonal ocular window that looks out. Is anyone else doing anything?
I would be.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't want to look at the flash this time.
Okay. So Anna, are you moving further away from the?
A little bit, but I'll also just like cover my eyes this time.
Okay.
I'm grabbing
I'm
at
still-
board. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was grabbing at boards in the ceiling, trying to like rip a hole in the ceiling, basically.
Okay.
I
Cool.
would say Felix would probably be helping Arson.
Okay. So you two are trying to bust a hole
Mhm.
in the roof with the plan of crawling out. Minnie is focusing on getting the camera set up. You think you're going to get a significant flashback from the glazed window?
Yeah.
So you can bust it
Plan
out.
accordingly. I mean, they're already breaking everything, so why shouldn't I?
Yeah, easy enough. You can use the butt of your pistol to pop out the center pane.
Yeah.
Pretty
I would
easy
say
enough.
it's-
As you do, it gets colder, and there's it's not a breeze. It feels more like a current blowing as soon as you pop the window open. And as you do that, you look down. The beings that are milling around are closer, but like they're higher. You hear from down below sloshing sounds, like the sound of a bucket of water being tossed out on cobblestones, but like the downstairs is flooding, basically. You hear
Yeah,
a
you better
groan
hurry on that
from the
roof
structure.
hole.
I'm gonna go ahead and whip my head around towards Minnie and see. I would assume that we would be able to see the brightness from where me and Arson are. Are we still able to see that after she
Yeah.
did that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's more like
Okay.
the creatures are swimming your direction slowly.
Okay. I was gonna say, because like in my mind, Felix's is when she busts out the window, like the water just like rushed in and raised that level.
It does feel kind of it does feel like as soon as that window busted, like there was a change in pressure. You felt the cold, and then you heard the rushing from below. But it's not like you can see. But it's not like water is pouring in or anything. It's just that it's not purely rational. But that is not an unreasonable conclusion to draw. Anna's hiding in the corner with her eyes closed. So, Minnie, you're gonna take a photo?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you gonna
Cheese,
warn us?
scary monsters.
Oh yeah. You warn people about the flash this time?
Anna will
Oh, yeah.
call it out if
Flash
you don't.
Taking the picture now. Watch out for that flash.
So, So Anna's like this with her eyes closed. Do Arson and Felix close their eyes or just turn around? Look
I
away.
would probably bring my like duster kind
Yeah.
of up and over my head and away from it. Kind of fully shield my eyes.
If enough time has passed that I could have like gotten enough room in the roof to like stick my head through, then I would. Otherwise, yeah, I would just be like kind of taking like taking my jacket and putting it over my head.
Okay. So in which case, I'm gonna say Felix and Arson give me a spot hidden at a -10 on the threshold.
16 under 50.
Ooh. Well done.
63 over 650. My bad.
Okay. So Felix just like totally you bury your head in your duster. Arson's got more like a jacket and is kind of just like pulling this up. So you're mostly just shielding the side of your face that's towards Minnie, which means you have a clear view of where Anna is when the flash goes off. So Anna is standing like this, kind of over to the side. And what you see as Minnie pops the flash is there is someone on the ceiling above Anna. They are covered in fur, black, fine, silky fur that kind of spreads from their body into tendrils up the side of the ceiling. They are spread-eagled, glued to the ceiling, as it were, with this thick, black, faintly shiny, but yet somehow furry substance. And as the flash goes, Anna's got her eyes closed. It's quite the tableau. The figure's eyes open. The mouth opens. This black dust begins to pour out of its mouth, and it begins to scream. Flood, 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 flood. Anna, you clearly hear this.
I'm in danger.
So what is it? What happens now?
And are you moving or are you staying put?
I feel like I want to get as far away from this thing as possible. I don't. At this point, Anna doesn't even want to turn around and look at it. She's gonna dart over to where everyone else is.
All right. So Anna is not going to look.
Yeah, no, not yet. Not yet.
I think. Does anyone else not look? Does anyone else have the presence? Because Anna's actually in a good position because it's behind and above you. So I do think I do want you to roll something to resist. I think your instinct is right. I think I would like you to make a power roll.
Oh. Okay.
To see if you can resist looking. Again, not quite the right.
50 out of 60.
You freeze when you hear this, like right behind you, and you start to turn, and then you're like, I definitely don't want to know what that is, and so you just like leap across the room.
Yeah, I'm getting behind Arson and Felix.
I'm gonna say it's other folks are probably like, what sound?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that everything would become unfreaky when I took the picture, but I guess it just made it more freaky.
Really good or really bad?
Is so about how far away is Arson from the creature? Like, is it like, oh, it's like, 5 feet away, or is it on the other side of the cabin?
It's like 10 feet.
Okay.
This is not a huge sleeping loft. And Anna didn't back like against the far corner. She just moved a bit away.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just there the whole time in the shadow.
I don't like that at all.
And then the flash revealed it.
Yeah. And woke it up. It's still screaming at the top of its lungs. Blood.
Do we all hear this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to say everyone, but Anna needs to give me a sanity check. Because you're not in a good position to be like, oh, I'm not looking at the thing that's right in front of me.
56 out of 40.
92 out of 53.
Oh, no.
Almost very bad.
We have things. We have things. Lots of things.
We do.
You could just flip those numbers around.
Yeah.
You could.
Those are good numbers to flip around.
Those
Unlike
are really
99, which is
good.
bad.
Oh yeah, but it's more fun if I go insane.
It's true.
I mean,
Yes and no. It's a both and.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip those around with a major.
Okay.
29.
Yeah. Okay. So take one. If you you guys have seen some stuff, so I'm gonna say a D4 if you fail and a 1 if you succeed.
Are we all doing a sanity roll?
Yeah, except for Anna, because Anna very explicitly Anna's freaked out, but Anna explicitly did not look at this thing.
Yeah, I'll look at it
I'll
eventually,
see.
but
all seems and stuff, but especially right now, we're seeing a lot of things.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's at some point.
Just another thing. However, I did roll a 4 on the D4, so I
Awesome.
got that going for me.
Good job.
Gang, I have 36
Arson and Anna are going to
sanity.
have
This
to
is
introduce
going
you to Dr. Handler, who can
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
hypnotize
You'll be in good
/
hands.
drug you with opium so that you won't feel
Right.
quite so insane.
We're literally his walking business card.
It's true.
All you have to do is you have to be a patsy in the crowd. You have to pretend to have an illness that he fixes. The oil, it doesn't taste good. It'll be over in real quick.
So,
I think
Arson.
that as Anna comes over and like is hiding her gaze or averting her gaze, Arson, he just keeps leaving his gun behind. I think he would have left his or no, he probably he would have had it still on his back.
Yeah.
But not in like any kind of like, this is cramped quarters. It's sleeping loft. It's not like he can bring it to bear. So I think that he would grab his pistol and take aim at the creature on the ceiling.
would you do that, or would you just, because you've been making progress on getting, like, it doesn't appear to be able to move. Aside maybe
Oh.
from a little bit of its head, but like it's literally glued to the ceiling.
Oh, if it's just glued and it's just there, and yeah, then I think I would be more frantic than ever in getting at the ceiling.
Yes, yes. Throwing all caution to the wind, you just start ripping and yanking, and the wood is vaguely slimy, and pieces of it are very spongy. Yeah.
I would probably get a big enough hole to fit Anna through, and I would probably instantly shove her up through it.
Yes. What people on
Okay.
YouTube won't know, but the players can see in chat as I used a major bane. I'm not telling you why yet. But you are able to maintain your cool, Arson. With Felix's help, you're able to rip a hole in the roof, large enough to squeeze Anna out. Yes.
That's if Anna wants to go first.
Sure. Not really, but sure.
I figured you're probably the smallest other than Minnie to get up there and get out first, and then you can assist from the top.
And I don't have a big camera in my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anna, give me a dexterity check, please.
Okay. Ooh, a 16 out of 50.
Yeah. You're just like a little monkey. Once they hoist you up, you climb out and you make your way up to the crest of the roof and kind of like lock yourself down on that. Who's next?
I'll reach down to help anyone who is coming up.
I would probably.
Hey, look, it's a camera.
Yeah.
Better grab that up quick.
Hand me the
Here's this
camera.
person. Yeah, I will say you're very able to grab the handle of the camera and pull it up, but then now both your hands are occupied.
And then I would say Minnie would be next.
Cool. Minnie, give me a dexterity check.
Yeah. 27 out of 70.
You likewise are able to clamber out. Your skirts get caught on a jagged piece of wood a bit. There's a slight rip, and then it bends a little bit because it's so spongy. But yeah, you're able to get out just fine. So now it's just Felix and Arson. By the way, still screaming at the top of his lungs, "Flood, flood, flood."
I'm going to say Arson up and then kind of give him kind of a boost up and kind of throw him up there.
He looks like he's going to argue for a second, and then he just nods. Okay. Yeah, he, takes the aid, reaches up. He's trying to wriggle through. He's having a harder time of it than the others because he's got a bigger build.
Yeah.
That is a 20 out, under 60.
You guys are awesome. Yeah. You climb up. Make your way to the top. Felix.
I'll probably try to jump, and then hopefully someone would assist me from the top side.
Sure.
Sorry, my hands are full, apparently.
Yeah, sure. Take a +10 on the threshold from Arson's help.
Yeah. I reach my hand down to pull him up.
Dexterity, correct?
Yeah.
That is a 94
Minor
over 80.
bane. So, minor bane. So it's now 104. But it's fine.
Okay.
But I mostly did that so that you couldn't use a major bane to fix it. So you leap up, and you grab Arson's hand, and he helps to pull you out, and then you realize you're slipping. Arson's hand is wet and slippery. You have just enough time to look up and realize that Arson's hand is bleeding. And you slip, you catch fingers for a moment, and you slide down and off the roof. You take...
So, am I on top of the roof and then I slide off of it?
Yeah.
Or do I slide back down into the...
No, you come out the side. Arson's able to pull you out, and as he's pulling you around to help you scrabble up the side, you realize his hand is slippery with blood, and then you catch, and then whoop, and then off to the side. You take a red hot 1 point of health.
Okay.
As you're scrabbling a little bit, and you kind of catch yourself for a second on the lip, and then the wood parts, and then you basically just fall back. This isn't a super high thing. A fall can be super deadly, but you are lucky in that you basically just land flat. You knock the wind out of yourself, maybe bruise a rib or something like that on a rock, but nothing life-threatening. And you are in the bright sunshine.
Do I see them on
Yeah.
top of the roof?
Yeah.
Are they dim?
No.
And does it look bright from our side as well?
No.
It looking down?
No. You see Felix slide off into darkness.
There's a split second where I'm just frozen in the position I was when he slipped out of my hand, and I'm like looking, not even really believing what my eyes are telling me, but like to me, I'm imagining like he is just dead.
Yeah, being eaten alive by whatever creatures are down there. Right now, you can't really hear any of them. All you can hear is the screaming flood, flood, flood.
I can't hear them.
If they're not saying anything, you can't hear them.
Okay.
I think you can hear. You're not that far away. You can probably. Arson's probably breathing pretty heavy, and it's probably like you can hear him.
I would say that I would probably, as soon as I hit the ground, I would probably gasp. But other than that, I would probably, with the wind knocked out of me, not really be able to scream out to them that I'm fine.
Where's Felix? I yell.
He's shakily pointing down. He's down. He fell. I had him, and then he just. I'm looking at my hand now. We're looking at like the like looking at it like I can't even believe it. Did you say that it was wet or that it was bloody?
It's wet because it's bloody.
Oh, okay.
You cut yourself when you were ripping through the ceiling.
Okay. I didn't even notice.
No,
at
you
the
were in such a
time.
frenzy, you didn't notice at all.
Yeah.
You probably also didn't notice
looking-
that you were digging into an area of ceiling that had tendrils of that black stuff in it, but we'll come to that later.
I'm looking over at Anna and Minnie. We gotta. I'm looking around. I'm looking and trying to see if there's like, now that we're up in the light, like, you know, can we? Is it safe now? And obviously it's not. Like, how do we? What? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Felix, you have you know, Dust, you can like check and make sure that you're not broken. You're fine. You probably roll off the rock you landed on.
I'm gonna yell up to him. Hey, you guys still up there? I'm fine.
You
Can
are-
we hear him?
Oh, well, you hear something.
Mm.
Are you still up there? Are you still up there? Are you still up there? Can Johnny come out to play?
Have we
Blood,
been murdering
blood,
children the
blood.
whole time?
I'm backing away from as far as I can from the edge.
I'm gonna yell, Arson, Minnie, Annie, just hop off the roof.
Hop off the roof. Hop off the
God.
roof. Hop off the
No,
roof. Blood.
I think they
blood.
ate him.
Can Johnny come out to play? Beans for dinner. Baked beans for dinner.
Woo! What is that? Are they? Oh God! Oh no!
Does it sound like they're coming from all around or like one particular direction?
It sounds like it's coming from the direction where Felix went over the side.
Okay.
The other voices are coming from all over.
Okay.
Are they coming closer?
Probably.
Well, something got him down there. I say we make a run for it. Let's go the other way, away from wherever it was that got Felix, and let's just run for the horizon. Don't look back.
Run off the roof?
Well, no, just
Well, we have to go down anyway. We can like check. Maybe he's okay.
No, I don't think that's safe.
Felix is hearing all this. Like, what's wrong with these people?
No, we have to go. We have to run.
Well, what if they just follow us even if we run? Are they?
Well, either we run and they chase us, or we stay here and they climb up and get us.
So far, all the ones you've seen have been slow.
So we can power walk away.
Well, we still have to get down off the roof.
I mean, well, we can't do it the way that Felix went, but maybe we can, climb over and drop off and, hang on to the edge, and then just kind of let ourselves down. Maybe there's like a haystack or something nearby.
A
Can we
convenient
see
hay
the
bale?
carriage from here still, or is
Oh, no,
it-
it's far too dim.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a rock or sticks or something and just toss it up on the roof.
Make a throw.
Okay.
Stick of dynamite. That'll solve everything.
It's unlit this time.
55
Right, didn't
over
throw it
30.
back.
Yeah. Something clatters to the roof next to Minnie.
A scream.
What is it? What is it?
Oh, yeah, what is it?
I also scream.
I think I'm going to say at this point, you've planted the seed of we got to get off this roof, and now stuff is being thrown up at you. I think it just
Yeah,
becomes
we're
a
leaving.
mad rush.
The other way.
Yeah, the opposite direction, the other side of the house. Everyone give me strength or dex. I don't care which.
As we're going, can I yell down for him to, if I mean, I don't know that he's still there, and we don't think he is, but be like, we gotta go, get out, run,
Sure.
I got
meet us in
10
town.
out of 70.
Ooh.
Leaving the roof in style with a camera.
With your camera, and somehow you just like one arm it down. You're totally good.
You said it's strength or
Strength or dexterity.
oh, okay.
Basically, it's
spin.
whether you want to like climb your way down or like jump dexterously, such that you don't hurt yourself.
I want to
Parkour,
spend
parkour.
4 luck points to get down safely.
Yeah. And Arson?
86 out of 60.
I'll catch you.
And there's nothing I can do. But short of burning like half of my remaining luck, there's nothing much I can do here.
So, I mean, you could re-roll if you want to.
I'm gonna let it stand.
Okay. So, you two are climbing down. Arson starts to climb down and slips and falls. Another 1 point of harm. It's not that high. Although it's hard to tell with this dim light. And because Arson makes it down before you two do, you're both taking slightly different paths. Arson's kind of trying to come down the middle. You see him slip and fall, and you see that just the look of falling into the abyss. And he reaches about halfway down the wall. And then it's like he hits a pane of glass that shatters underneath him. And these spinning shards of dark glass just kind of explode out in all directions. And beneath him is just this rush of light. And then he hits the ground with an oof. And then that reality, that dark reality, shatters. And you're here hanging on the side of this cabin in the bright light of day.
I would be following them around.
Yeah, as Felix trudges around the corner.
And then hops down and make sure Arson's okay.
He's rubbing his arm, like he landed real bad
On his shoulder, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he looks at you like, you're alive. What?
Yeah. I was telling you guys just to hop off the roof.
That's not what we heard.
I mean, it was.
Well, it kind of was, but it sounded like one of the monster things saying it.
Yeah, it sounded
you
just
just
like those
kinda-
blobs.
You just kind of like broke through the darkness like it was a sheet of glass. And then
Yeah,
it just kind of shattered around. Now everything looks normal.
Anna wants to run around to where we left the dynamited bullet hold amalgamation. Is there anything there?
Yeah.
Oh,
It-
no.
They're still coming.
It looks like, I mean, it's whatever it was is dead.
But it's still an amalgamation. It's
Yeah.
not okay.
It looks like it's been there a while. There's a fine coating of dark mold.
Is it
looks-
like the mold I see on the little egg
yeah,
thing? Oh.
it's a little runny. You didn't see the figure that was plastered to the ceiling above you, but that was also somewhat similar, although much more advanced.
Is that still inside?
Don't know. You'd have to go inside to check.
I mean,
Do you want to go inside and check?
well,
No.
I mean, we should. We should document it. I can take regular photos of things too.
I
Some
don't want your
photos.
camera to go off again.
Listen, no,
today.
no. That was using the ghost powder. I also just have regular powder.
I mean, maybe that powder
Regular-
got like everywhere or something. I don't want you to use that camera again.
The powder that's made out of
Okay,
the
yeah,
same thing, the idol that we dealt with last time.
Yeah, I definitely will promise not to use the camera again, the thing that I was brought here to do.
Well, It's just not today. No more today. We can talk about it.
So does anyone go in to check and see if the figure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with Minnie.
Okay.
I don't want her to be alone.
I'm going. I won't take any pictures. Just wait outside. I'm going to take a picture, Felix.
I'm gonna hold your camera as leverage.
No, you can't take my camera.
Fight it.
I need that.
Fight it out. Minnie pulls out a wrench, and Anna probably
These
realizes.
hands are for healing and damaging, Minnie.
But I do need my camera, though. It's my
Taking
camera.
life and saving lives.
Okay. I'm gonna wait outside with Arson. I'm not going back in there. I didn't even have to see it. I don't want to.
Yes, it's still there.
Gross.
And because the light is normal now, and there's actually, sorry, there's a fire or something. There's actually bright rays of sun coming through, particularly the big area of the roof that you busted out. You can see that it is very much as you saw it. It however, is long dead. The probably most disturbing thing is it looks like the figure died in the bed and then somehow was pulled up the wall by this growth of mold.
I'm gonna take.
And by the way,
normal.
the tendrils of that slime cover the entire ceiling in here.
Oh.
So is the body on the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can see where almost like a drag mark as it was pulled
like
up.
the black mold.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a normal picture of this without any special weird powder because I don't want to do that again today, actually. But a normal picture should be fine.
You take a normal picture. It's all good.
Yeah.
And then you make your way out. You can see your horse.
I guess
nibbling at the grass across the bridge.
Anna, do you have any more of those glass bottles?
Yeah, I'll hand some over. With
Yeah,
little tweezers or swabs, whatever. Give her some stuff.
Yeah.
Do we have any of the
samples.
black mold on us? Can I check over?
Yeah.
All
It's
of
all
us?
in your hair. I mean, it when it opened its mouth, it just poured the stuff onto you.
Which means we probably breathed it.
Disgusting.
Yeah. It's real
No
gross.
one's got a hand wound that has black mold and slime in it, right?
Right?
Right? Any rate, the ceiling's covered in slime, too.
Yeah. You take a sample, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy enough.
Even though it's all over us, but, you know.
Best from the source. So you scrape off a sample. Well, you have investigated the scene of the murder.
Did we investigate it or did it investigate us?
That's a good question.
Yes.
And I think it's a question we'll have to answer next time.
Yeah.
Because we're at 9:30 and Felix has some work to do back in Denver. I'm going to say you probably make your way back to Denver so we can pick up upon your arrival. And hopefully as you debrief with Jack, who has been off gathering information through gambling. So, who knows? That went well.
Ish.
We're all alive.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to say, as you're driving the cart away in silence, you come to little copse of trees and see a couple of blackbirds. Minnie, they look at you, and you could swear one of them asks you if Johnny can come out to play.
New fear unlocked. Earned.
Right. Level up here. Awesome. So yes, well, that was another episode of Cowboys and Cthulhu, our Call of Cthulhu Down Darker Trails Weird West RPG. Playing a little fast and loose with some of the rules, but it's fine. And yes, Arson definitely has a ragged cut kind of here on his hand from a sharp piece of wood or maybe a nail that was left. I'm sure Anna does a perfectly masterful job of cleaning it up.
Yeah, just dump a crap ton of water on it, clean it out.
Yeah. I'm going to say, there's a fresh stream there. You clean yourselves up as much as you can. So
Anna has a first aid kit specifically for arson.
yeah. So you take some time, get as much of the mold off you as you can, and then make your way back to Denver. So cool. And we'll pick up here in a bit. I don't think we have the next one absolutely scheduled, but it's probably in a couple of weeks.
Probably.
Theoretically.
Or whenever.
I know Athos was gone for 2, so roughly that's what we're on right now, depending on when he gets back.
But we can also divide and conquer, because the mystery keeps getting thicker. So whenever 2 or more of you gather to play, I will be there to bring you horror and nightmares, as is my job. So cool. Let's do the thing that we do and let everyone know who you are and where they can see you. Let's start with Anna. Katie.
I'm Katie. I can be found here or in Juice's channel or Chev's channel or various other channels around Twitch, and sometimes on my own, but not really. Just when I actually have a time off of work. But I like to hang around, so yeah. Your turn, villain.
So I'm your only villain. You can find me here at C Plus Content or over at Juice's TV. And some other ones like Chev, and there's a few other ones. I don't stream at all. I do hang out in Discord quite often, so you can probably find me in there just hanging out by myself, waiting for someone to come and hang out. That's pretty much about it. Chev?
Hey everybody, I'm Chev. You can usually find me hanging out in people's channels. I also stream myself playing Mahjong, which is a card game, and listening to music and having a cat cam on with wonderful cat Ruby. He might have spotted roaming around my desk while we were playing. So if you ever, if that all sounds interesting to y'all, then come hang out. We would love to have you lurk and listen to some chill tunes. And this has been a blast. Misha.
I'm Misha, or Misha_less_than3 on Twitch. Not that I really stream. I also hang out at Juice's TV program. So weird. It's like I mod there or something. But I'm often here. I believe I have Teen Justice Academy this coming Sunday. And then next Tuesday and some following Sundays, we're doing something that Chev is actually GMing called Burial Grounds, which is a different system that we're going to be playing in. Seems pretty cool. I already made character art for it without really doing anything else before making the character. I think that was very important.
You have to have a vision.
Yeah, I had the vision, and I'm ready.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for playing, and thanks everyone for joining live, and thanks everyone for watching on YouTube later. And we will say goodbye to our friends on YouTube and then come back and write out and stuff. So bye everybody on YouTube.
Bye.